Welcome to Nerd Church. We are back, but down one player today. So Pando has left the safe house to spend a little time back at her home, tying up some loose ends, and has promised to reconnect with all of you shortly. To be honest, she looked a little shook after this sewer adventure. I think it was a little more than she's ever experienced before, and it looked like she just needed to clear her head a little bit. And so at this point, Wari Wari Hanzo and the young man you saved from the sewers have both left, and you are standing together alone in the safe house, now with the full trust of the organization, and potentially a few days on your hands before more work or assistance is needed of you. So what would you like to do next?
I'm just wondering, I'm pretty strong. I guess I'm just kind of wondering if I can go down and maybe I'm gonna head over to the docks and just see if I can unload a ship, help with some unloading items or something. That's my thought. I don't know if anyone wants to join me down there. I just need to raise a little more cash if possible. Offer myself as a day laborer.
I'll just remind you, Freya, that you've already paid 35 gold pieces to Chetney, the Tabaxi, and he's looking for 50 more in order for you to have truly official papers. So a copy of the papers placed secretly into the Hall of Records. However, tomorrow your unofficial papers will be available to you without any additional funds.
Yeah.
So you don't need more money to get papers to carry around with you.
Unofficial ones, though.
Right,
not registered.
If you got arrested, like we talked about, if you got brought in, it would be a problem. But you could get your papers tomorrow.
How much you need?
I know, I can't remember.
50 gold.
No. Right here, inventory. Oh yeah.
Maybe we
15. I need 15 more.
Potom just hands over 15 gold.
Thanks, Potom.
Sorry, this is pretty entertaining.
It's very
Thing going on outside the window.
Like,
This
really
guy
understand.
breaking up something with a giant stick.
He's beating a piece of metal with a giant stick.
There are a lot of interesting humans around here, especially on Sunday.
So yeah, Potom just hands over the gold. He's no problem.
All right, Potom, I do owe you a lot of money.
Pom's actually like a loan shark. He's gonna come back wanting interest.
And ironically, he's like one of these shadowy middlemen, loan sharks, who actually owes other people a lot of money.
Yeah, he's like, So he's really motivated.
There is a ship captain out there who may or may not
right.
for me.
So probably don't want to come down to the docks and unload some stuff.
No, Potom's going to stay here. He's got ideas.
I was well, I don't know if that really changes anything, but I was going to suggest maybe, as an out-of-character comment, it might be a good narrative hook that you don't have your papers now, so you wouldn't be able to do such a mundane
task,
mundane job because they wouldn't hire you. So maybe we could, something we could do this session is try to find something a little more off
exciting.
The books.
Which Eric certainly has connections for that sort of work.
That's what
I mean, that is
trying to float out here. If Eric has
that's
any
your
ideas.
world.
Yeah, it'll be a little funny though because I was probably in my official job. I was sniffing out. I was like a double agent, or not double agent, but like I was a counter thievery kind of guy. So I was hired by the powers that be to sniff out people that were skimming off the take and stuff like that.
Oh, see, I have a question about this. Because
sure.
I had misunderstood it, I think.
Oh yeah.
So your clients are
I was
legitimate. They're like government officials and legit.
Yeah, like
some
vaccine merchants.
kind of thing.
Like maybe mostly legitimate.
Oh, okay,
but they're the ones. Yeah. And
I was under the
I was
impression that you were like an underworld enforcer. So like,
maybe
there was a successful criminal elements that were like, you go check to make sure that this person's paying me what I'm owed, and check the books of these businesses that I'm like pushing around and bullying or that kind of stuff. But I don't want to create a storyline here. Just that's what I thought I.
No, that's fine. I think it's probably like a mix. I think these tabaxi, they're probably not paying their taxes necessarily.
Yeah, I think that is 100% likely.
So it's all like it's a lot of gray in this world. I think So, but I think I didn't want to make her too. I wanted to make her kind of a little boring in a sense.
Sure.
Where she's working for, she's basically a glorified bean counter.
Yeah.
That's just like inspecting books, and she does get involved because of the people who are kind of skimming, and they're inherently.
Yeah, so she's on the edge of this world.
Yeah.
You would know people.
So that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
But maybe haven't delved into that before.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is that maybe her contacts are actually people that she would have busted before, or have this like routine kind of almost professional, like that's what I kind of see it too, as it's more of like the cost of doing business. Sometimes you get caught, and
yeah
like it's not a big deal.
Yeah, sure.
Like
I like that a lot. Well, so this makes a lot of sense because your papers are not available for another full day.
That's
you all
true.
took a day. Chetney told you 2 days. You took a day in the sewers to do this mission. You've had a nice rest. You've got a full day ahead of you before you can really go to Chetney's and get your papers. So if you're looking to kill a day together,
We might as well, because I do need 15 more gold pieces. I wouldn't mind having a couple more in reserve too, but if we can figure out a way to get, 15, 20 gold pieces by doing some side job. I don't know if you have anybody, if you need some help, a little extra strength on one of your jobs coming through here.
Yeah.
Air.
Yeah. Let me contact some of my old acquaintances and see if there's something that we can do. Some of them might not be terribly thrilled to hear from me, but
yeah,
we'll work that out.
But there may be mutual benefit in
exactly.
in it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not just gonna walk around. Other than that, unless we go out somewhere for I guess Patam, you're making a few things right now. The other thing I'm just wondering is
Like a suit that will allow me to breathe underwater.
ooh,
Or maybe not. Or some boots that will allow you to move silently.
or walk up a wall.
Or
The rock man has lost his mind.
What's that?
The rock man has lost his mind.
Why didn't I think of that?
So I'm just wondering too, do you think that there's anything, just as you're thinking, that you could add to my axe?
Let me do a little research.
Yeah.
I just imagine that there's a lot, actually. And every time that I think I made a decision, there is a sub decision that needs to be made. Like,
sounds like so very
He
sciencey.
does go down these holes.
yeah. So, I might have to finish my update later.
That's all good.
Yeah, that's okay.
So,
Contemplating.
Well, so I'll tell you a couple things just so you don't feel restricted. It is, while there is some risk to you all spending time out around the city, it's not like you're wanted fugitives and people are out looking for you, right? So you spent time down by the docks for quite a few days without running into any kind of trouble.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily have to hide in the safe house because you don't have papers yet. Like you were able to go see Chetney and talk to him and do all these things. It's really just if you get in trouble where this will become a problem.
Don't go to the tavern and start making fights or
Right.
Don't start stuff. That would be advisable.
Well,
but I don't want you to feel like you have to be trapped in the safe house. However, the other thing that I will say is, as you start to think about some of the contacts that you have that might potentially have the kind of gold that you're talking about here and might be looking for help, there's really two primary that come to mind. So the first is a little more on the up and up, let's say, and it's one of your actual clients. who is a fairly successful tabaxi merchant who operates quite a few of the businesses in the Mercantile District as a tabaxi named Meeks.
Right.
Meeks is well known in this city as kind of a power player, and like most very successful merchants, that gray area gets bigger and bigger the more successful you become. And for Meeks, that's the case, you know. Meeks has occasionally paid you a little extra to do some things that got closer to intimidation than just simply checking books, right? To drop some veiled threats on people, or to push to collect a little more, to assist in a negotiation, these kinds of things. And then the other option you have is an assistant dockmaster that you have caught acquiring through false inspections some of the cargo that comes into the city. So basically every once in a while this person inspects and declares something contraband or suspect of being contaminated, or artificially inflates the tariff on something, and those crates always seem to wind up back at their place of residence. And so you've caught this person doing that 5-6 times over the course of your career. It's a well-known pattern, and that's one of those relationships you described where they just kind of see it as the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
And you've come to expect that when they get caught, there's going to be a little something extra on the pile, a little bonus on top of the fine to make sure that you are friendly about your report back. So that's why this person's managed to stay in business as long as they have. And this person is a Knoll, and that Knoll's name is Nell.
Nell the Knoll.
Nell the Knoll.
Nell the Knoll.
Nell the Knoll, assistant dockmaster.
Okay.
So those are the possible options you think could be helpful.
Okay. I thought I was saying too much. What is the more narratively interesting route?
That will depend entirely on you all.
I don't know if I want to reveal Meeks so early. Maybe I do. I don't know. Maybe,
I mean, we could just head down to the docks and.
I was gonna say, yeah. Let's start small. Let's maybe not shoot so high so quickly. Air suggests that we go meet up with an old friend of mine, or old acquaintance of mine. Friend, I say friend, professional friend.
Professional friend.
Known as
friend.
Nell.
A friendly person.
Yeah.
All right, I'm up for
Hits and
meeting
runs.
Nell. Let's head down there. You think that there's a little possibility in there for a...
I think she.
They.
They.
I think they might be able to give us some short-term work.
Okay.
They always need some help.
Yeah.
Always ships
We'll
coming
head
into the
down
harbor.
there so we sneak out of the safe house. We stealthily slide out of the...
Do you have that option?
I do, because I've learned if I just wink and wave,
Yeah.
people are cool with that. They
Just-
kind of like that. They've
Just
never
act
been,
like you belong. Yeah.
yeah, they've never been winked and waved at by something so large. It seems menacing, but really,
right.
it's
Yeah, you're not very
amusing.
common in this area. Are
No,
you?
I'm not
Yeah.
common at all.
So there are two possible exits from the safe house through the sewers back into the surface world of the city. You can choose to basically re-enter the sewers where you already journeyed and
Right.
explored, which then brings you out.
That's
Now
right.
the door has been repaired,
Right.
or it will have been repaired. Brings you out from behind the flowers in the Mercantile District in that plaza.
Area.
The other alternative is actually out of a storm sewer grate. You have to actually lift it up and remove it, which you're plenty strong enough to do, which is right behind the bar where Pando's bestie works, Lily,
Lily.
the tabaxi. So right behind that bar, and I need to remember what that bar's name is.
Oh, the scratching post.
The
Scratching
post.
post.
Thank you.
Those the taxi.
This is why we take notes. So those are your two options. So basically, you can enter and exit the safe house either in the Mercantile District or in the Docks District. And that's narratively where those entrances and exits are. So you're leaving the safe house from which?
Oh, I think definitely down by the bar. I don't want to run into Nips again
Yeah.
at this point, especially with not having papers. I would like to avoid the Mercantile District for the moment.
Yeah.
Now you've avoided my Nips trap. Very good.
Yeah, I feel like Nibs is going to be just a thorn in our side.
Nipses. I would like to nip Nips.
I see what you did there.
And that's on my mind. I owe Nips a little smackdown here at some point. Let's head out over by the bar. Maybe we'll even. What time of day are we at?
It's morning. It's morning
Morning.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably won't see Lily in the morning at the bar, but
Probably not, no.
no. But yeah, let's head up. So I lift up the grate,
Yeah.
push up the grate, and we slide it to the side. Check it out. I'm just kind of poking my head up and looking around.
Yeah, try to do it really quietly.
Yeah, quietly. Which I can move the grate fairly quietly because I'm pretty strong. So there's not, hopefully not too much of a noise as I push the grate up.
Yeah, I can just see the imagery of like this giant scaling creature just
Let me roll for this.
some small child or something.
Yeah. No, there's no one back here when you lift the grate out and set it to the side. It's morning behind a bar. There's not a lot.
Someone taking a smoke break and they're just like, whatever.
There's not a lot going on here. The bar's not open.
Yeah,
At this
they aren't
time.
even there to start breaking stuff down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
So
one's
you're
at a
able
bar,
to,
it's
to
really
climb out, and the bar is not really that far from the docks. It's a 5-minute walk down to the waterfront, and the dockmaster's office is pretty obvious and easy to find. Obviously, to you, you've been there many times. So if you're heading down there, when you approach the docks, you know that this would be the right time to find Nell working, because the dockmaster, who is a problem drinker, never actually makes it to the docks before the sun is very high in the sky, which is why Nell is a morning person and has risen to assistant dockmaster status. It is also the least busy time of day at the docks. Not a lot of ships arrive early morning, so really this is a time when ships that arrived late the night before or were perhaps delayed and had to stay outside the harbor are then brought in and unloaded as the first crews of dock workers arrive in the morning.
As the tide is right.
So as you approach, you can see there's really only one ship currently docked, but there is one out off the coast that's approaching right now and coming in towards the docks, probably still 30-40 minutes out before it will arrive. But you can tell from a distance. Well, actually, make a perception check. Just air, please, because the other two of you would not recognize this.
Did Patam come with us?
Yeah. He's just you can just see him.
distracted.
He's distracted and kind of muttering to himself and thinking about.
Okay. It's tough to make out what this vessel is, but it is. You can at least tell from a distance that this is not a local ship. This is not one of the local fishing trawlers or anything like that. This one's coming in from another island or another part of the world.
Could I roll a perception check then?
Sure.
Since I've been a lot of places. Let me find it here. This is terrible. I can't. too. Never mind.
Yeah, just
Are we sure we're at the docks?
Right.
I mean, there's a morning fog. It's
Alright.
until the ship gets closer, it's going to be tough to see what
Okay.
exactly is going on out there. But as you approach the dockmaster's sort of, it's like a hut. It's not really a big office or anything. As you approach, you see there's not really anyone in the office other than a fairly large, kind of bristly-haired gnoll, which you recognize to be Nell. Nell has an interesting look for a gnoll because they have made you've been told, the fashionable decision to actually shave patches of their fur in various places to allow for visibility of tattoos. So Nell has quite a few tattoos all across their upper body, but in places where they have not recently shaved, the hair quickly grows back over. So Nell is nearly constantly in some state of trying to trim back the hair so that their awesome ink can be shared with the world, which from a distance gives them a very mangy look, just patchy and strange. But when you get up close, some of the tats are pretty cool.
Very fashionable.
Yeah. So that's what you see.
So then Air just shouts from across the room, "No! How's it been?"
Air, it's a pleasure to see you. Oh dear, what brings you to the Dockmaster's hut this fine morning?
Now what do you think now? I'm not doing that anymore.
Oh. Well, then you leave me in an even greater state of confusion.
I'm in a little bit of a transitional situation right now. I'm looking for some temporary work. I was hoping that, our long stored relationship, you might be able to return some of the favors I've given you over the years and find me some short-term work here.
Make a persuasion check.
No worries. Natural 20 and it's 26.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Nice.
Yeah. So you apparently you've caught Nell at the right moment.
Just feeling good.
Here.
He's probably so relieved I'm not there to bust him for something else.
100%. You see
like,
see
"Whatever."
a deep sigh, and you've known this person long enough to see some of their tells, and you notice their eyes dart to the ship that is currently docked.
Oh yeah.
In a very suspicious way, and then back to you, and then there's a deep sigh of relief, as for sure if you were here for your normal job, it would have been a valid visit to punish Nell. And so they sigh and say, I cannot say that I'm disappointed that you have moved on from your previous employ. And yes, I perhaps could find this to be a mutually beneficial moment to return certain favors. Who are these with you, if I might ask?
Well, like I said, we're in a little bit of a transitional period here, and I'm trying to put my own crew together.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and right now we're just we're a little short on funds, so we're looking to quickly raise some cash.
I see.
And I'm hoping you could help us out with that.
I just happen to have a favor that needs doing. And this favor will be beneficial for me. It will put me in better standing for the job I should have. And since that will be financially beneficial to me in the long run, I'm willing to invest a sum of 30 gold pieces to seeing it get done.
Wow, now you're generous. Not your usual self.
Well,
What is it exactly then?
then you can understand how important this is to me. You know that of a time, I have been accused of redirecting parts of shipments for my own benefit. And this has been overlooked from time to time, thanks to your framing of the situation. However, it has painted me in a bad light with the local government officials and prevented me from rising to my appropriate station of head dockmaster. But if the current dockmaster were to have an unfortunate event that cast him in a bad light, perhaps I could leverage that and advance my career. It just so happens that the ship that is currently there in harbor contains a shipment of very expensive fabrics destined for House Kieran.
Okay.
These fabrics are contained in 3 separate crates of significant size and weight.
We got that covered, don't worry.
Yeah. I have filed appropriate paperwork and placed some of that paperwork in the wrong filing cabinet, shall we say. And so, if one of those crates were to disappear and some of that fabric were to reappear in the marketplace for sale, there would be a very obvious trail back to the dockmaster. I, of course, cannot have my fur on this, so perhaps you can be of assistance. Make one of those crates disappear, fence the fabrics to someone in the mercantile, make sure that it shows up in the bazaar tomorrow, keep whatever profits you take, and on top of that, I will, as I said, make a donation to your new crew.
New venture, new business venture.
Yes, an investment, let's say, in our future relationship.
Let me talk to my associate, and then we just step over.
Of course,
Step
of
off to the
course.
side.
So as you step away, Nell actually looks up and out and sees the incoming ship and rushes off to round up some dock workers and make some preparations. So you have a little bit of time to discuss without their presence.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's something we can definitely do.
I think so. The guy was kind of an asshole anyway.
Do you think that we could use a safe house, leverage the safe house to keep a few things down there, or should we not involve?
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe we should. Maybe not at this point.
Quite yet. We have a tenuous relationship still.
Implicate the organization.
Right.
Yeah, let's try to. And I think, luckily for us, I think this particular job, it's supposed to be a little obvious.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
at the
they're
right
supposed to be
time,
caught.
at the
Yeah,
appropriate
yeah.
time. So I'm just thinking about where we can store this stuff before we would sneak it in the marketplace tomorrow.
I actually have just come up with a grand idea that I want to call the transporter. It's a bag that doesn't have a bottom.
Interesting.
I can load lots and lots of things into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Would
yeah.
that be it? Could that help?
Is it heavy to carry then? After we load
No,
all
it's
that
as
in?
simple as holding another bag.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Let's work out.
Well, that's an elegant solution. Yeah. Okay. This definitely sounds like something we can do.
Okay.
Just carry it around with us during the day then, as we
Okay.
go about, and then we have to.
Or should we try to pawn it off still today? 'Cause I think the idea is that it shows up in the market tomorrow morning. So I suppose we could just sell it still today in one swoop.
That is true. Sell it to like a merchant in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
marketplace to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that? Because that was my other question. Are we going to have to or is the other possibility that is there somebody that we would talk to become a merchant in the marketplace to have our own little spot?
To clarify, specifically, Nell asked you to fence this.
Right.
To other,
So,
got
so
it.
not to sell
Not
it
to
through
sell it
legitimate
ourselves.
means, but to sell it unseen
oh.
to a merchant.
Do you know any merchants in the? Maybe this is a way that we can we do a dual thing where we can we get Nips somehow along with this? Can we screw over Nips in the process also?
Oh, I thought you were saying heal our relationship.
No.
You went straight to screw Nips.
I'm ready.
The thing
I'm not
is
going
that-
to heal our relationship. I'm going to screw that.
We could propose healing the relationship
That's what I'm saying.
and then screw her over.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Can,
Nips.
can we? Hey, there might be something in here.
That's
for
what we
ya.
should do. We should
Like a
approach
good
Nips
old
and
bait
just
and switch.
be like, look, Nips.
Let's just call that
Let
the
bygones
laser
be
light.
bygones,
Yeah.
Nips. Yeah, I think maybe there's something in there. Although that might kind of screw us over in the long run here.
Well,
with
actually,
it,
now
but-
that you say that, Nips may have never seen me though. I don't remember how that
Oh,
played
no,
out.
I don't think that
Nips
Nips ever
has
saw
never
me
seen you.
either.
Oh, so maybe
No,
you just hang back
some
and
of you.
we'll be the we'll deceive
Well,
Nips.
yeah, go in for Nips. I don't know. Are you guys in for? I mean, Nips did screw us all
Double cross.
over.
That's
Well-
good. Multi.
Technically.
The other thing is that I don't know if we can really trust Bottom to not just say exactly what is happening.
Right. So Bottom can carry the bag
Yeah,
and hand it off to Air. I think
Yeah.
Air is exactly the person because
Yeah.
we have some charm that's
I-
going on also right now.
I've been
New
told
charm.
I'm very charismatic at times.
Yeah. No, I know. You got a lot of.
Okay.
You got a lot. I think maybe we could have a dual.
Yeah. I think this plan is coming together.
Yeah, I think so. Go up there.
Excellent.
So what's our? I mean, because we know too that we know Nips is super. Like, will take advantage of absolutely anything.
I think Nips is the type of person who you give them an opening to, if you can make them think that they are getting one over on someone,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
that
this
they would
goes into-
jump at it.
I just deeply. I want revenge on Nips.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever that. I forget what that saying is. Whatever you can't. You can't scam an honest man or something like that. Well, Nips is not an honest man.
Nips is not an honest, yeah, in any sort of way. You know, it would be nice to kind of have that. Let's see.
Or you can't con an honest man or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I like this. How this has come together. Is the market open every day?
Every other day.
Every
so
other day.
tomorrow the market opens.
Okay. So, but it's not open today.
So
So
we
we'd
have
have
to
to figure out where to
locate
find
Nips.
Nips. Yeah.
Well, Mako's the scratching post might be a good place to
Oh,
start.
that's true. Ask around at the scratching post. I
Should we-
wonder, is
should we
the
just-
scratching post open for lunch?
Should we?
Yeah, they open. Most of the establishments in that area open like after noon.
I say
Okay.
we there's probably
Let's
like a
look.
limited opportunity for us to grab these crates. So
Yeah,
I say
let's
let's get
grab these
going and we'll
crates
kind
quick.
of we'll
Or it's
talk
one
and
of the
figure it
crates,
out.
right?
Yeah,
Out of
one
the
crate.
one of the crates, or just open. Do we open the crate and take the merchandise out, and then the crate is still there? So,
Or is that
do
too- that
we
might
have
be
to
too
break down the
suspicious.
crate then? So
Yeah, throw it overboard or something.
throw it overboard.
Well, should we just? I think we should just start because I'm afraid
Yeah,
of us like
let's
doing
do
the
it.
entire
Yeah, it's taking too
doing
long.
the entire quest before actually doing the
Oh,
quest.
right. No, planning session's good. Okay, all right, let's head over there. Let's, well, we have to tell Nell that, accept with Nell, right?
Yeah, so I
So-
think as we exit, I make eye contact with Nell and I just
Yeah.
give him a
Yep,
little signal.
here we go.
Okay. So
He just
seeing that signal, Nell turns and calls out loudly, and some of the dock workers who were standing around the ship that's currently docked, sort of your target ship, they were basically just waiting for the rest of their crew to show up to start unloading. Nell waves them over to the dock where a new ship that you had seen approaching through the fog is now coming to rest at the dock. And so some of those folks are moving away, so there's now no one standing near that ship. But at the same moment, two other things are happening that seem interesting to you. The first is that 4 Imperial blades arrive at the docks and march in formation to the berth where the incoming ship is approaching, which is about 50, 60 feet away from sort of your target ship. And they're marching basically towards where Nell is standing and directing traffic. Okay. The second thing you notice is that now that you can see this ship up close, it is an Imperial messenger ship. Okay. Now, Imperial messenger ships are not traditionally military vessels, although they do have a small contingent of blades on them for defense. But these are fast courier ships, basically. They are used for mail, sending messages to and fro for nobles. But in times of war, they are reconnaissance ships. They are communications vessels. They are what the Empire uses to get important information from point to point, other than magic. When it can't be trusted to magic, every Imperial messenger ship carries at least one royal courier. Royal couriers you are familiar with. The other two of you probably not. The royal couriers are an elite force. They are individual, independent. They're basically like kung fu mailmen. Everyone knows you don't mess with an Imperial or with a royal courier. Not only is it illegal to physically touch them, but they can defend themselves very well. And so every Imperial messenger ship carries a royal courier, at least one. And the royal courier's job is to deliver messages in person. They commit these messages to memory through lifelong training, and then they deliver those messages in person to the individual that they're meant for.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure, yeah. And because of how important messaging is, I'm sure if you were to violate one of these messengers, punishment would be swift and severe.
Oh, yes.
And way overboard.
So literally the punishment for physically touching a royal courier is imprisonment. Mm-hmm. And attacking a royal courier the punishment is death. And usually the royal courier is the one who deals that out by just killing you. Yeah. In response. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're instantly branded. So the other thing that is interesting is that Imperial messenger ships will at times provide transport for important nobles. So they can often hitch a ride. It's expensive to do so, but is the fastest means of travel between most islands, other than magical means. Very safe. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot going on, basically, on that other part of the docks. So this is potentially a distraction, unless you'd like to see what's going on.
I'm just gonna, for the moment, I just, especially with the blades and stuff, I'm just going to kind of step back. I know I'm not very good at hiding necessarily, but I just there's a lot going on. So I'm really, I'm hoping, I'm just going to kind of step back by some of the crates or back by the thing that's there, just to kind of be able to observe a little bit.
Stealth check for me.
Just acting like you belong. Just tying knots or something. Preparing a net or something.
Come on. It's a 1.
Wow. Knock over.
Okay. I'm not gonna punish you for this.
Yeah.
But because you are not close to these people, but as you are attempting to back your way behind some of these crates, you trip over a hawser of rope and just fall on your ass. And it's loud and awkward. The blades don't turn. They're 100% focused on this incoming ship. Nell does look over and kind of give you what kind of crew are you running here? How easy do I need to make this for you? Look. But that's all.
Are you sure about this, Eric?
All right.
Stealthy barbarians.
Yeah.
Stealthy barbarians.
Yeah.
Gotta work on that.
Not the usual type I hired to do stuff like
Just
that.
as deadly as the mailman.
Yeah. So you have a bit of a choice here. You can act right now and take advantage of the fact that there is a lot of activity going on at this dock,
Something serious is happening.
or you can wait and see what the haps is, what's coming off this ship.
We do kind of have a lot going on with trying to figure this thing out with Nips. Maybe we just kind of use this. Don't take the bait.
On the other hand, I think everyone is in on the take here, right? I assume, like it's an easy job. That this taking the crate off is the easy part. Or do we? Oh no.
I mean, I don't think you can assume that.
Okay.
Nell is in on this.
Wait, but I guess maybe
dock
not
workers
the
and
everyday.
stuff.
Not everyone.
I mean, there's you would assume there's probably a reason that Nell called those folks over by her,
Right.
by them,
To kind of
rather
get
them
them away from what we
leave them
have.
stand there.
It might just be a really good opportunity for us
Okay.
to just sneak in and grab our stuff.
I was hoping for the world building, but that's okay.
Oh well. Oh, I don't even.
No, that's
I'm
fine.
clueless on that, obviously.
No. Let's go for it. That's
Yeah.
That makes logical sense.
Yeah.
So Air also a little frustrated by the barbarian's clumsiness, but
Understandably.
knows that there's she's in for a penny, in for a pound here. So
Well, I'm also like, oh man, I keep trying to get in with Air. And
it's embarrassing.
it's a bit
Air's the
embarrassing.
cool girl at
It's
the high
just
school.
a lot of
or whatever, yeah.
advantage, very
So
guarded. I'd
so
like to
gawky
be able
and
to take in a little bit, show that I'm competent enough. I'm telling you this, Era. I just am trying to. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not clueless as to the
Yeah.
idiocy of this.
Air tries to cut off the apologize.
So there's two paths onto this ship.
Yeah.
There is a personnel gangplank, so like a narrow wooden plank that basically goes up to the surface of the ship. And there is also, this is it is a cargo vessel, and so there is a hatch in the side of the hull that actually opens up to provide egress for some of these larger crates and shipments and things. The again sort of trade-off is that the passenger plank or entrance is mostly out of sight because of stacks of crates, and it's on the other side of the vessel from where all these people currently are. The larger hatch to bring cargo off is fairly visible from the direction that people are currently hanging out.
Okay, but it's a cargo vessel. So is that where I assume that's where the most of the activity is the.
Yeah, but the dock workers are pulled.
There's nobody here on this. Well, I mean, you're not. Bless you. You've not been inside the ship yet, so
Right.
you can't speak to if there's anybody in there.
Oh, so you're saying the unloading area? It's a few people.
There's nobody outside around this ship unloading it. She called no, they called all of those workers away to the other dock to help greet this Imperial messenger
Should we
ship.
just walk right on then?
Let's yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, we can walk
act like-
on. Just I'm a little cautious.
Yeah, Air says
already.
just act like you belong.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
are
not
you-
a problem. I fit in well.
Are you walking on the passenger entrance or jumping in through the shipping?
Let's
the
is
cargo
there a way
entrance.
to kind of go up there a little and peek around the corner?
I kind of want to go with the passenger, but I don't really have a good narrative reason for that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the best narrative reason for it is it's on the opposite side of the ship, so it's out of
less-
it's out of line of sight.
from- yeah.
I get
From
that.
I thought you were
all
saying
the
from us, but you're
blades
saying
And we can
everyone.
kind of
Now-
see up there that there's
Perfect.
nobody up on the top part of the ship too.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Sounds like a good call.
Well, with that choice, you don't even need to make a stealth check. You just scoot your way up to
Okay.
the top deck of the ship, and there's nobody up here right now. So this looks to be one of those situations where the crew landed last night, probably went and stayed at an inn somewhere, and will be back at some point to their ship today to deal with the manifest and all that.
Took the shore bike up to the brothel.
Yeah,
Fought
yeah.
each other for the.
Probably.
That's the case.
So here on the surface of the ship, there's not, or on the top deck of the ship, there's not a lot going on. I mean, it is empty of people. There's various equipment that you'd expect to see lying about. And there is a hatch with a set of stairs heading down into the cargo hold. It is very broad, so you could also potentially bring cargo up and down that set of stairs. But other than that, there's not much on deck to see here. From this perspective, if you wish to peek over the rail, you could see what's going on the other dock. Otherwise, what do you want to do?
I think Air wants to peek over. She doesn't have to stand there and stare, but at least get a good look as she's moving past.
Make a stealth check and
Okay.
a perception check, please.
Okay, stealth first. 19.
Okay.
Man, not very perceptive, Air. 6.
Okay.
Really wants to see what's going on. Cannot.
I think maybe this is just like now that you're in it, Air is being very cautious.
She's on the
And
job.
is not going to expose. So you're like just peeking around a mast or just over the edge of the railing, but not willing to expose yourself enough to get a great view of what's going on.
Yeah, forever the professional.
Yeah, but I will say you see enough to witness. You don't see the Royal Courier come off of the vessel. You know there's one on this vessel, but you don't see them disembark. But you do see a young elven woman disembark who is dressed in very expensive clothing, and as she reaches the top of the gangplank and starts it prepares to make her way down, one of the blades detaches from the squad of 4 that's waiting down below, rushes up the gangplank and holds her hand and escorts her down the gangplank. And that's all you see before some of them turn and you're forced to duck back down behind.
Okay.
But they're still very much in process of getting people off of this ship.
Could that possibly be our lady we're gonna escort? Daughter of.
Oh, maybe. That's very possible.
Yeah, but we don't really
We
know.
don't
Is
know.
there any possible way that we can
Identifying features,
identify?
yeah.
Does she have any identifiable
Not with
markings
not
or
with a 6.
family
I mean,
Yeah.
crest?
you
or-
saw a young
Not
woman
with a 6.
dressed in expensive clothing. I mean, I would say you're probably putting this together
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
So in the scroll, in the scroll case, one of the items was a request for a squad of blades to escort the
Yeah.
youngest daughter of House Kieran
Yes.
as she
Youngest
went
daughter
on a
of
trip
House
with some of her friends to the country estate. And so probably this is the youngest daughter of House Kieran who's just arrived. This squad of blades is here to pick her up from the docks. As to when she's heading to the family's cottage in the country,
For time
who knows? But it seems likely that this is the reference that you got before.
Okay. Should we focus on the task at hand?
Yeah, let's do it. So we have to get down into the cargo hold somehow on the ship. I don't know how that usually is. Is it just like a staircase that's in the...
It's basically just a very wide, shallow set of stairs that descends down. It's not quite a ramp, but a set of wide, shallow stairs that descends down into the belly of the ship. And it's very well worn. You can see that things have been carried up and down this stairway often. Some of the boards are almost polished through overuse, and it's pretty dark down there, even though it is morning, obviously.
Do we have a little light we can see down there?
Well, I have dark vision,
Oh,
so
okay.
but I mean,
Potham. Hey, Potham,
yes.
can you peek down there for us?
What am I looking for?
We're looking for the crate, but then also, is there anybody else down there that you can see? Is there anybody else down there that you can see?
Imagine that I have to make a perception check.
I think you should.
Yeah. Doop, 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 doop. And 7.
Having some
You don't
perception
see anyone
issues.
at the bottom of the stairs.
I don't see anyone. I'll go down. I'll go
Okay.
down.
Kind of roll down your rock.
Yeah, no, I'll just, kind of confidently saunter down the stairs, as I do.
You'll pot them down.
Yep.
You do. You make your way down the stairs, and at the bottom you look around, and the ship's hold is large, but not so large that you can't see most of it. The only part of the hold that's hidden from you is what's behind the stairs. And from a quick look around, I mean, it's dimly lit in here, so you can see just fine. You don't see any people. There are quite a few crates in here, and some bags and nets and things like that.
Do I see the crate that we're looking for?
You don't know.
No.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Are
how do
there
I
any
identify
markings
it?
on the outside of the crates, or?
You're not down there.
Oh, I'm gonna come down.
Okay.
Bottom says it's okay. I'm coming down just in my normal walking, because I don't have any other type of walking apparently than my normal walking. So
So at this point, I'm assuming all of you are just heading down
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
the
we're heading
belly of the ship. Okay. Yeah, when you get down here, it's as I described. So if you want to look around and get a closer look at these crates,
I'd like
you
to
can
peek
make.
behind the stairs quick.
Okay. Yeah. You peek behind the stairs. You don't even need to make a perception check. Basically, what's back here is a small. It's the equivalent of a sailor's barracks. So there's 4 or 5 like hammocks slung up. There's a couple sea chests,
Do we
things like
see
that.
any people possibly hiding in a hammock or something?
No, nobody's
Taking a
here.
nap? Okay.
No, there's a couple sea chests. So if you're interested in like robbing sailors,
Yeah.
you could certainly dig around in their personal belongings. But other than that, the ship is empty.
Probably
Okay.
probably not steal from the sailors. I feel like we should.
Just do our task at hand.
Yeah. I feel
Okay,
like we need
you're
to
right there.
low profile. This is how
As
you,
I'm
see,
going to kind of peek in a few little things and see what there is around.
the way you get job 2 is by doing job 1 correctly.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Eric. You're right.
Are we gonna have an issue? Does it appear that we're gonna have an issue identifying the correct crate?
We don't know yet. I need people to make an investigation check.
Investigation
if you
onto the
want
crate.
to search around. There are quite a few crates in here.
Yeah.
Roughly a dozen crates and various other things. So you can all make separate investigation checks if you want to split up and look for this, or you can double up and give someone advantage.
You don't have like X-ray vision,
Or-
too, do you?
it's very clear that Bottom is lost in his thoughts today, as his investigation check turns out to be an 8.
Okay, yep.
He's not
Okay.
exactly sure what we're looking for because he wasn't paying attention.
Wasn't listening closely to know. Yeah, and he's just kind of poking around.
Could I?
I will say with an 8, there is something interesting that you notice, which is a very small crate, probably a 2-foot cube. And what calls your attention is that it has Dwarven Kingdom runes on the outside.
I know how to read that.
You do?
I do.
Oh. Well, then what you would read is sensitive equipment inside fragile.
Bottom.
Just open up my bag and slide that
Bottom.
right on in.
Bottom.
Yes.
We aren't trying to take anything extra.
Wait, hang on. First, just we have to pause for a second. Tell me about how you suddenly acquired a bag of holding.
Oh,
Let's take a step back for a
as it
second.
turns out, through my upgrade, my leveling up, I can imbue regular objects with magical properties, and one of those is replicating magic items. And the 2 magic items that I can replicate are sending stones, communicators,
Of course.
and
Didn't
a
even
bag
have
of
to say
holding, otherwise known as the transporter.
Do you need one to replicate? Do you need one in
I
front
just
of you?
need a bag, and I have
Oh,
that.
you don't need. Okay.
Um,
I guess,
Okay.
it's replicate, not duplicate.
I mean, that's really very cool.
It's too cool.
It is surprising to
So
to me.
A level 2.
And I'm trying to read where in your character sheet it says this.
It doesn't say it on my character sheet. So what
It's in
what you would
deeper,
find
it's
it,
the old magic.
what you would find
script,
is
yeah.
under features and traits.
Yeah,
The infuse item,
yeah.
and then I can infuse. And then I have to make specific.
Specific infusions.
I have 4 infusions that I know, and I can only have 2 of them at the time until it is either destroyed or I release it,
Got it. Okay. Okay.
or I die.
Right. That's also a thing.
And then after I die, it lasts for 4 days. So somebody could be
geez.
like, I could die, and somebody could be like, look at this, I found a bag
here.
of holding.
Got it. I found it. This is listed at the bottom of your equipment.
It's at the bottom of my equipment?
Yeah. So it describes your infusions at the bottom of your equipment.
Okay.
That's very helpful.
I had been looking for it, and then I was trying to add it to the notes.
Yeah. So you'll have to
Oh, infusions,
actually like
sure enough, there
build
they are.
out an item and then manage infusions to add it. But for now, we can do the paperwork part of it later.
Oh, and it doesn't have that completely updated. Okay.
Cool. All right, that's helpful to me. So before you get confronted on this, would Potham have been trying to be sneaky about this? Do you think, or would you have just done it?
No, he doesn't sneak. He just does it.
Well, in that case, proceed with the confrontation.
Bottom. We can't take that.
No, we're going to take
No,
these.
no, we can't take it.
No, you don't understand. It is very. I need this.
Bottom. Here's the thing, though. We're trying to get in good.
Yeah.
We're trying to get in good with.
They won't know it's missing. We're taking other stuff, right?
Yeah, but how would they not know it's missing if it's that sensitive? And somebody will be looking for that, and we're the only people that are in here.
Won't somebody be looking for what we are taking?
Yeah, but that's the point.
We.
We want people to be looking for what we're taking.
Yes, so we just take other things too.
No, we can't
Yeah.
take other things.
No, you have very poor logic here. We take things we want them to be looking for. We want them to be looking for everything. Why don't we just take this?
That's not our target, Potham. But
Lady
we would-
said that we could take whatever we want.
Potham. How about this? Let's leave that here right now, but we know it's here. And we'll focus on our task at hand, but we know where this is. So if we take it now, they're going to know that we took it. We don't want them to know that we were the ones that took it.
I mean, I guess I'm
fine
fine
with it?
Well, no, I mean, I guess I'm fine with like the idea if he does it without. I mean, I'm fine with the idea of that he does it without us seeing him or something too, right?
I've already seen him do it, though.
Yeah, we've already established in canon that this was
we've
not
already
sneaky.
Seen him.
This-
He
this
goes
just
like
happened.
this, but it's right in front of us.
He just went.
So Potham.
No, we need this.
Okay. Can
You
we
like
agree?
everything that I do
Potham,
for
can we
here.
agree that-
We need these.
Potham, can we agree that we need this, but we will hold it here for right now? We won't take it at this time.
I do have to say one more thing, just mechanically. I don't think you can put a 2-foot cube crate into a bag of holding.
Oh.
I think you have to fit. It needs whatever you're putting in there needs to
into the
fit
mouth
in
of
the
it.
mouth
The
of this
mouth of
Yeah.
the-
pouch.
Okay.
Which just happened to be about 2 foot by.
I just have to grab a 2-foot bag, 2-foot wide
Yeah,
bag.
it does happen to be no. Hang on one second. Let me just pull up
Potham,
the
let's just think about. We're gonna have some time tonight.
bag of holding.
I don't know how long the ship is gonna be here, though, but
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like just a quick narrative way to resolve this.
right.
Outside dimensions roughly 2 feet in diameter at the mouth and 4 feet deep.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll allow it then. Yep.
Cool.
That's bigger than I was picturing, like a pouch.
Pouch, yeah.
I guess the bag that they have in the bag of holding is looks like a messenger bag.
Although funny enough, that still mathematically doesn't work.
That is true, but I'm going to allow it. I'm going to allow it in this case
Because it's infinitely
because I
deep.
love this.
Yeah. It gives me
It
anxiety.
can carry up to 500 pounds.
Okay. Well,
Party
I would
members
say, I mean,
bickering.
I mean, I guess, is it okay? Are you okay with this if he's sliding this thing in?
Air is I think Air is very not okay with it, but she also understands that
That
she doesn't
we're
have time
probably
to
not going to
fight
be
about
able
it,
to.
maybe.
That we better just
she's
get
like,
going
maybe-
to the task at hand.
She like sees there's basically two worlds where she sees where it's either we argue about it on the ship until we get caught,
Right.
or she lets it happen and then we deal
And then
with
we
it
talk
later.
about it later.
Yeah.
All right. Can I do an
She's-
investigation check then to look at these other crates?
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
absolutely. And as a reminder, you can all do an investigation check. Potham already did
Okay.
his, but if you're all trying to look
17.
for these crates,
Finally.
Well, I was gonna say no, that's fine. Well, I'll offer it and then maybe we can weave it together. Air being forever the always looking for records and those kinds of things. She's probably recognizes that the quickest way to find this crate would just be finding a record of it. So she's actually looking not for the crate maybe, but an office or some kind of chart on the wall or some kind of map or anything
Sure.
like that to kind of catalog where things are.
fair. Make an
Stored.
investigation check.
20, not natural.
Okay, very good. So yes and yes. With your 17, as you kind of scan around, remember what Nell said, and you quickly identify 3 identical crates that are of significant size, and you sort of jump to the conclusion that that's probably what you're looking for. And you also see Elvish script on the side. And so you approach and get a closer look at these and feel pretty confident that these are the crates that were being described, because nothing else in here really matches that description. These crates are of significant size, so they are easily 4 feet on a side, and they're not quite cubes, but they're big. It would be you're not sure how to estimate the weight without trying to pick them up, but even just physically, this is not a one-person job to pick one of these up.
Yeah.
Air.
154, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Hang on. Air, you at the same time find a shipping manifest down here. So there's, it almost looks like a wine rack with a bunch of scrolls in it. And you pull a couple of those out and open them up and take a look. And they're basically receipts for each of the things, the shipments that are down here, with different, sailors' kind of scratches on them. Most of the sailors that you've ever met are not fully literate, so they're using little symbols and things like
Right.
that. But you're very familiar with this kind of documentation. With that high of an investigation check, I will say you catch a little extra notation here, which you have a high level of confidence is Nell's, because it is not this kind of sailor scratch. Like it's a note,
Okay.
but it's not obvious as much. But it basically marks which of these 3 Nell has set aside
Yeah.
and created a paper chain for. And so with your roles combined, you're able to identify that these are indeed the 3 crates, but they are numbered. And it is crate number 3 that you are tasked to take.
okay. Is it possible for us to just kind of open the crate there and load the merchandise quick into our bag?
Potham, do you
Potham,
have
do
something
you
we
have
can
a
open this
crowbar?
crate with?
Yes. Producer crowbar.
Is it a special does it have a name?
No,
okay.
it's just a crowbar.
Fair. All right, so you pop out a
Okay.
crowbar,
Okay.
and with that, just
In there?
I don't think you really need
Are
to make
there,
a
like,
strength
bolts
check
of-
or anything here. You're able
Okay.
to just pop it open. You've got the appropriate tool to do that job. Yeah, and what you see inside are it's approximately 30 heavy bolts of cloth, some exotic cloths, silks with various kind of sparkly threads throughout, some of it with fabulous patterns, some fairly simple but very high quality linens and things like that, but all on heavy wooden dowels, bolts of cloth. So there's a lot here. And I would say this is the kind of thing where knowing what things weigh would be helpful, but I'm going to say it.
Would you say that this crate takes up more than 60? Well, let's see. So 60 cubic feet, because I guess I'm
60
using
cubic
4
feet.
cubic feet at the moment.
That's actually not. Yeah, I was gonna say 60 cubic
so
feet
it
is probably
isn't
less than you
infinite.
think it is.
No,
Yeah, this is well, it's roughly 4 feet on a side, so this is 64 cubic feet of crate.
Oh,
So it's
close.
It's very close. And I will also say
You might have to just carry one of the.
I will also say I think this is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
over
so-
500 pounds. Well, 500 minus the 4 feet of crate that I already have in there.
Ooh, it's really close.
I think
isn't
what
it?
I think what I'm basically going to say is I assume you're just going to start stuffing this cloth in the bag, right?
As quickly as we
Okay.
can.
So you
Are we gonna have to hold a ream or?
6 of these are not going to fit
Ooh.
How many total?
with the current crate, or with the other crate inside the bag of holding.
So as heavy
So
as
there-
it is,
There were like 30 of
And
these
6
bolts
of
of
them.
cloth. You've got 6 left over when it's bulging out of the top, and you're
Okay.
trying to shove more in the bag of holding, and
those 6
it's
just
just
don't go.
not happening.
We didn't think this through.
Got 6 bolts of cloth.
6 bolts of cloth. What are we gonna do with these?
Okay, yeah. Now let's be creative here.
Wow.
I mean, can we just strap it to our barbarian and
Does somebody
Right.
have another bag?
pack mule?
Or or a cloth, just or something to just cover it up with.
Does somebody have another bag? Because we could just make
Oh,
another
just make
bag.
another one.
Do you have to? Is it like? Do you have to spend an hour making it or something?
Uh-uh.
It just
No.
it's just instantaneous.
You
Oh
can do
jeez.
it. Do you have a bag? yet?
OP. No.
It has to be at least an action, right? It's not.
Oh yeah, that's
It doesn't just you don't just think of it and
I
it
mean,
I'm
happens.
trying to. No,
I-
wonder if you
I-
could-
Well, no,
literally
I would
don't have
imagine that I
anything.
would have to do a little bit of stitching and.
I'm kind of surprised they don't make you say like you takes an hour for you to create or something because I could imagine you.
You know,
doing
I-
something like in the middle of combat, spend an action to make a magical item.
Right.
I was just looking. I was reading through this, and it doesn't. It doesn't say
Wow.
anything like that.
Weird.
So
No, I mean more power to you.
Yeah. the only limitation of this replicate magic item is that I have to pick the magic items that I want. So I can't just have a list of magic items and be like, oh, I think today I'll have a bag of holding.
Oh, so then that. And then
So
that's
it's
it?
limited, yeah. So like those night vision goggles is the one thing that other
Oh.
artificer can make with
Gotcha.
his replicate magic item. So I've used that replicate magic item twice for 2 different things.
Okay.
And then I have 2 other different imbues. And then I can only do 2 of them a day. And then I can only have these 2 bags of holding until I either go, I don't want these anymore, I die, or they get destroyed.
This is a very cool power, and I don't want to.
Unfairly nerf it or.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm going to say is in this particular situation,
I can only use one.
no.
Oh.
I would be happy to let you use another one, but I don't think anybody came prepared with like another big
bag.
messenger bag
Sure.
ready to use this. So I'm gonna ask you to solve for this particular puzzle in a slightly different way.
Okay.
I think there are some fairly simple solutions to this as well, but. I would like a little bit of the dramatic tension
Sure.
of this moment to be like, you've got a.
How do we get this?
You've got an
Create
8 cubic foot
Yeah.
personal item in this bag of holding. You've got 6 extra bolts of cloth. You have to figure out something.
Yeah, we are going to have to figure out something.
I kind of just want to. I mean, I guess I have a poor concept of what can we carry ourselves.
Right.
I know I can't carry much.
Well, is it possible? Can I carry these if we do strap them onto me? Can I carry all 6? Are they?
I mean, you'll be
Yeah.
heavily encumbered if
Yeah.
you take all 6. It's really more about how bulky they are. Like, you
Right.
have the strength easily to
It's
carry
just like how do we?
all of these.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, what we're talking about here is each of these bolts of cloth is probably this long, probably 3 feet long, and a foot in diameter or so. And they've got some weight to them, but they're not like not carrying gold ingots or anything here. Like
Right.
you could each run out of here with one under each arm if you wanted, and
Okay.
I wouldn't be holding that against you.
Well,
I will
what if-
also though say, and that as you remember what Nell asked of you, the goal was to make this stuff go away.
Oh,
Nell's not asking for you to like deliver a specific
dump
number of, content or whatever.
not all the.
Nell wants this to have disappeared so that the dockmaster gets in trouble for part of this shipment going missing.
Right.
And as a reward for making that happen, you can keep whatever profits for that you manage to get for selling this cloth on the black market. Nell just wants to make sure that that cloth disappears
And
and
then
then shows up in the marketplace later where it doesn't belong in an obvious way, so that this narrative that they are trying to build works. That's
Right.
the situation.
So,
So we don't need all of
Boston
it.
Tea Party it
Yeah, we could
With
just
the crate.
Boston Tea Party it. Yeah.
with the.
Don't we want to leave the crate so it looks like it was brought?
Or is it too obvious if we leave the crate? Does it
Yeah,
look like
because they already
doesn't-
have
and
it on the
also-
manifest.
it doesn't? Does it look
Does
like
the
a?
cloth float? So if we throw it overboard,
But
it'll
if
just
it's
be
in the
floating?
crate, and if
Crate would
it's
also
in the
float,
wooden
though.
crate and we dump it,
I think we got a flinker. It's not going to sink or float. It'll just kind of be flunk.
I was like,
That's a bottom line for sure.
It's a
That's a
flinker.
technical term.
like,
Bottom.
Seventh grade.
we're like, okay,
We
fine.
made flinkers.
Okay.
It delights me when Dungeons and Dragons become so much about math and physics.
Yeah.
This is very, very common. Every once in a while, you just
Just
land on a
you
thing
get
where you're
stuck
like,
on it, yeah.
how much does a bolt of cloth weigh? And what would a 4x4 crate full
Yeah.
of cloth weigh? And can we make it
would it
sink?
float? Yeah.
These are things. This is math we need to understand.
I do have one
There's a
other
lot of
idea
logic, yeah,
too
in that.
about it.
I'm all ears.
So, do these? What if we took one of the hammocks and put the bolts of cloth in the hammock and rolled it up? That would cover it up, and we could strap it, straight to my back then, and I could walk out with it, be covered up. I mean, 6 bolts of fabric that are like this are probably about the size of a human when you put them all together. So the hammock should wrap around it.
I suppose. I don't think anyone's gonna be like, we were robbed. We're missing hammocks.
It's a hammock.
Like, who's
Yeah.
Where's my bed?
Someone will be.
Someone came here, left the chest, and stole the hammocks.
Or maybe they're not quite that smart. These dock workers. They're like, wait a
oh,
minute.
I must have been-
What happened?
Totally wasted last night.
Yeah, right.
Threw my
Lost
hammock
my
over to
hammock.
Happens.
I'm
Happens to the
not-
best of us.
Maybe yeah. Did I hang that up somewhere else? Okay, I don't know. If it's not going to float well. The other thing is that we have to think about getting rid of that crate then too. I know that you think we should leave the crate, but it's on the manifest so they can put that together. But then it's not obvious that things are gone, like you're saying.
Yeah, I think if the crate leaves, it looks more like smuggling than a
Yeah.
theft, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Just takes a minute to rectify all of that. Like, wait a minute, it's missing. So it gives us a little chance to hopefully slide that in.
So,
If the
Air, this is where your experience with Nell comes in handy,
Sure.
I think, because
Yeah.
what you were previously busting Nell for was redirecting cargo.
right,
So it wasn't pilfering from things so much as it was
wholesale. Yeah,
things are getting delivered off the docks to their home,
right.
and so they just never show up where they're meant to show up. So this if the crate stays, you would imagine that either it needs to be sealed back up like it was fine, and then when it gets delivered there's just less in it than they were expecting, or the crate should just fully disappear.
So we can leave it there, but we have to probably put at least something else in so it, even if it feels lighter, it's not obviously lighter. So we'd have to find something to stick in there.
Yeah,
Or-
do we just put the 6 back in there?
Why don't we just set it on fire? We'll just burn it.
Bottom is so chaotic.
Let's just set
Somebody
it on
wants
fire.
to create consequences.
All
right.
Like that idea.
So
All right.
What is the plan?
Right here.
Oh, I can do it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think what we've decided is we're trying to balance that we obviously want to fulfill the task and we want to set it up so it looks like a smuggling job. So what we're going to do, but at the same time we understand that it's not really feasible for us to take the full contents of the large crate with us and deliver it to the market, and nor is it necessary. So what we've chosen to do, talking it out, was we are going to fit as many as we can in the bag of holding, and the ones we're going to leave are the most mundane, least valuable seeming ones. So it looks like we've taken the best fabrics.
Okay. Got it. So you're going to unload the fabric back from the bag of holding. Sort through them based on what you think looks valuable, and then reload, and then the remaining fabrics.
Yeah, seal the crate up nicely.
Going back in to seal up the crate. Okay. I would like you to... Who is going to assess the value of the fabrics?
It's got to be here.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And Bottom definitely could have a little.
I imagine
I
that.
don't know.
Would probably an investigation check.
It's going to be an investigation check.
Okay. Yeah,
Or you can.
I would be happy to make that
Take it.
if you want to assist.
Oh yeah, I've read how. Yeah, is assisting? Do I also
It
roll?
Nope.
means
You
it
just
means that
give-
I get advantage.
Give pot an
Oh, gotcha.
advantage.
All right. So
And then while that's happening, I would like...
22.
That's a very good roll. I would like you, Freya, I'd like you to make I'm going to call it an athletics check, I
Okay.
think, because basically there's a lot of physical movement of this stuff that has to go on.
Passing and-
What I'm driving at is to figure out how long this is taking you,
Yeah.
because you have turned this into a several step process now,
Yeah.
beyond just removing the contents of the crate.
Yeah.
You're taking them out of the bag of holding, you're sorting them, you're putting them back into the bag of holding, you're putting others back into the crate, you're resealing the crate. So you're the physical side of this, you're the brains of this operation.
I got a 14.
Okay,
and I most definitely got a 22 as I rolled a 16 both times.
that's excellent. Okay, so you feel a high level of confidence that you have sorted some of the less fancy fabrics out of here. There's definitely a spectrum in here. I mean, some of these literally have gold thread woven into them. Others look like high thread count bed sheet kind of stuff, right? You sort of made your choices here. In the end, you managed to fit 24 bolts of expensive fabric into the bag of holding, along with the crate that you have acquired. And as I said before, 6 bolts of cloth remain, and you put those back into the crate. You had mentioned earlier, and I'm not sure if you decided, are you putting other things into the crate along with those, or are you just leaving it as
Yeah.
is?
They were just
We're
leaving it as
leaving
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Very good. And then you're resealing it. Who is going to do the job of resealing the crate to make it look like it was never opened?
That would be me.
Okay. Make a sleight of hand check, please.
Actually, what I would like to do is use
Mend or something. Or?
mending.
Oh, mending. Yeah, then no check required. Excellent. So upon completion of that, it looks as if this crate has never been touched. No hammocks were stolen, so that's really the only disruption down here, other than the absence of one small crate.
Yeah.
And now what are you doing? All told, I would say this has taken about 25 minutes.
Okay.
Well,
Walk right out, I suppose, right?
well, up through the ship though, and
Yeah,
out the
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less traveled route, I would assume, for a cargo ship. Yeah.
Air, what is your passive perception?
Weirdly low, 10.
Everybody's got a pretty low passive perception. Okay.
Yeah, that seems to be a hole in our.
I need to figure out some kind of like.
Maybe Panda. I think Pando's is high.
Oh, right.
I think
it
that's
is,
that's
it
your
is.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay, as you come up onto the top deck of the ship, there's still nobody up here. But as you start making your way towards the gangplank, a dock worker is making their way up the gangplank, and you see each other at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a knoll, and they sort of, their eyes get wide as they see you, and immediately they say, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah.
Well, we
They're about 10 feet away from you. They've just stepped onto the deck of the ship.
Air steps forward and is going to try to deceive this individual.
Okay. In what way?
And she's going to say, and you're gonna have to remind me what the dock master's name is.
No.
No.
The head dock master.
Yeah.
I didn't give the head dock master a name yet. The head dock master is,
Because that's the story we're sticking to it.
Absolutely.
I
We can associate ourselves
Rule
with him there.
one.
I
You
just
stick to your
imagine
story.
that Freydissa has shoved her hand over Autumn's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those signs that he needs to just be distracted.
She just like grabs him and just like holds his face really
yeah.
close to her.
the head dock master is a minotaur named Clef.
Clef. Oh yeah, Clef. That guy. Ugh.
Clef.
Yeah.
Clef's not such a bad guy. He just has a disease that he's working through.
Oh, I know. I mean, that's not why he's a bad guy. He can be both at the same time.
Sure, yeah, that's fair. Okay, so you are saying what?
What are we doing? Clef asked us to do a surprise inspection of the ship, as just to make sure that everything was running correctly.
Okay. Roll a deception check.
That's okay. That's better work out. Okay, thank God. 24.
Okay.
It's the one. I made sure that my character was going to lie.
So the knoll kind of tilts their head
like
for a moment,
Above my pay grade.
and it sort of shrugs and says, "Yeah, I mean that kind of checks out.
He's so sorry he couldn't be. He would have been here himself this morning, but you know how he is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you know how Nell is, so Clef keeping an extra eye on things makes sense too.
Don't I know?
Anyway, not like I give a shit about any of this. I'm just here to get my drinking money for the night and get over to the scratching post.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know. And as he's about to go away, I pull him aside and go, Nell doesn't need to know about this, or really anyone else for that matter. Clef would like to keep this between us.
On the deal.
Sure.
And then I have a single gold coin.
Oh, yeah, well, then no roll required. A single gold coin is this guy's entire day wage, so he's real happy to take that. And he goes, "Yeah, I've been here all morning. Haven't seen a soul."
Yeah.
And then he marches downstairs to get to work.
Yeah.
With that, you depart the ship and make your way where?
Well, I feel like your paper situation probably doesn't make it a great thing for us to be walking around with contraband.
Right. Well, I was just going to say, too, can we even just go up? I know I have to go tomorrow to get my papers anyway, and we have a little extra time right now, although we have to figure out how to unload this with the merchant.
I think we could probably do that today, right?
Yeah.
Let's just go and
Get rid
rent
of
a
it.
room in an inn.
Sorry, do what?
We'll rent a room in an inn.
Oh.
Then we have our own. We have a private space, more than enough room to open up our bag and pull things out.
Kind of sort through, and
Sure.
Because maybe it would be good if we had more than one place that we unloaded it, or should we
have a base of
unload
operations
with,
then to sell the merchandise, and we're not using the safe house, so we're not
Implicating,
making things bad for us there.
Yeah. Air suggests we could go back to the scratching post, because if it is our goal to get back at Nips is at Baxi, and I'm sure maybe someone would at the scratching post, because they all know each other.
Yeah.
The casual racism of D&D. but in this case, not far off because again, this is not a huge city, and the majority of the population of this city are elves.
Right.
So, Tabaxi, Gnolls, Minotaur, etc. There's actually not that many, and most of them are either employed or slaves. So yeah, this is not a ridiculous
idea.
assumption.
Did we know where Lily lives? Because Lily may. We
don't
know
know
we
if
can
we-
trust Lily as far as trying to figure out maybe.
Oh,
I
she
mean,
can
we're
figure
fairly
it out.
certain we can trust Lily.
Well, let's and that's so.
I believe you all collectively have been to Lily's.
Oh, that's
The
right. We
flat.
were at the Lily's flat once.
The
So if
best
we
thing
rent a
about
place-
not going to Lily's is again implementing.
No.
anybody else.
I mean, we get a
Oh,
get
yeah,
a
you're
room,
right, you're
everything
right.
like that. No. I mean, we get a room, all of that. But then maybe we ask Lily about how we can connect with Nips.
I gotcha.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to just show up at her doorstep with like, oh yeah,
No,
we got a bunch
no,
of this.
no.
We
Hey,
can't
by
tell
the
you why,
way-
but we have a bunch of
yeah.
stolen stuff.
Can we keep this in your closet?
basement?
Right. How about a closet under your bed?
Yeah.
Under your bed. No, let's so let's go rent a place.
Okay.
Do you know a boarding house or a inn or something like that we can?
I mean, I think we could just go to the scratching post unless you think unless we
sure.
don't.
The scratching
unless
post
we want
has rooms.
to- Yeah,
Okay,
unless we
oh,
don't think
yeah.
Otherwise,
Okay, let's do it.
yeah, and plus that place makes a mean whatever that drink was that was.
Yeah.
I don't think I should try that again.
I don't
Just
really want any more of that.
It was
No,
a good
thank
name.
you.
I just read what it was.
No.
I didn't write down the
Yeah.
name. I wrote down a description of it and how it tastes, but I didn't.
Whatever
I
that
believe
drink
it's
was.
called the hairball.
The hairball.
The hairball comes back up often.
That's terrible. And now canon.
Yeah.
It's gonna just come down to it that I own the scratching post.
You just yeah. Yeah, you're right. Let's go to the
There's
scratching
somehow,
post.
yeah.
And tonight's band, Gil McWheezy and the Pantaloons.
I would like everyone to make a perception check.
You got it.
Ooh, why are you moving so slow?
That is not a good.
Well,
perceiver.
12. I mean,
18.
5.
there.
Okay. Potom, you're the only one that picks up on this, but as you're making your way to the scratching post, while you haven't really figured out who, someone's following you.
God damn it.
No, is there any reason that Nell would be trying to get back at you for something? Making this too easy?
I don't think. I mean, maybe I should roll on it or something.
Well, first I have an important character question.
sure.
Potom, you're the only one who've noticed this. Is this something you would then immediately communicate to these two people with you? Or how this crosses Potom's mind. We are being tailed. What is
does it-
Potom's reaction?
Does it come out of Potom?
This is what Potom does. Potom slips a small stone into Freydis's hand and then disappears. Meaning I bugger off.
Okay.
You don't turn into
we're-
the stone.
No. I slip a stone into your hand, and,
And
I
then you flee.
I just as we were walking along.
Duck down an alleyway or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me.
You got it. It's one of my specialties, stealth checks.
You've
Oh,
done a
wait.
lot of them.
Oh wait, this isn't red. 12.
Okay. All right. You duck down an alleyway, and Freya, you have a pebble in your hand, and you just saw Potom take off down
I just
the
look
alley.
at air. I'm like, really?
Do you want to look at the pebble? Was the pebble something
Yeah, I'll
significant?
look at the pebble. I'm good.
What does the
Check it
pebble
out.
look like?
Pebble looks like a.
Pebble.
Say if you're going to have an arrowhead with the shaft broken off.
Oh, okay.
It's a little triangular shaped
rough.
stone.
Go straight to.
A little rough and pointy.
Yeah.
Does it?
Okay.
A little star.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe
Little
just
star in
a
the middle.
wee little star in the middle.
Cool.
No other. Okay. Well then.
So your companion darts off down the alleyway. What do the two of you do?
I just look
I
at
have
him
no
like
idea.
this is
Like,
just like, okay,
Typical,
whatever.
like maybe are we not surprised by it?
We are not
By this
surprised at
random
all. I'm
behavior?
just like, are you serious? Okay, come on, let's just go and get a. There's
Right.
no point. Let's
Yeah.
just go get a thing. He'll show back up.
He's off tinkering or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he take the bag with him though?
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
For sure, he's got the bag.
I have the bag.
100% he has the bag. Yeah.
This is a problem.
Damn him! Come on.
Someday,
You go running around the city looking for a little
Rock.
rolly
Dude.
rock.
we'll rock them. Someday we're going to listen to these recordings and play a drinking game.
Yeah.
And in the drinking game, you're going to drink every time Potom creates a situation in which another player has to say, "This is going to be a problem."
Well, no. Well, I guess. Well, we have to find him, right? Like, we can't finish this.
Well, how are we gonna? Well, the other thing that we do have to try to figure out how we're gonna unload this. So do we just honestly, do we just say there's no way we're gonna find him? Let's do we just let him show back up and we'll work on the other stuff in the meantime? No, or what is he doing
How
with
much,
that?
yeah,
Is
how
he
much
gonna
faith
try
do
to-
we have in
I know.
Potom?
Do we?
Show
I
back
know.
up?
Do we have enough trust in him at this point that he is just gonna show back up?
I also want to
Or is he
say
gonna-
this conversation is happening in the street.
Yeah. Okay,
You're
yeah,
standing in
shoot.
front of this alleyway having this discussion.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I always forget about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're whispering.
I also keep moving.
Fair.
So I didn't just run and hide.
So while they're doing this, having this conversation, where is Potom headed? Like, what's happening? What's the goal here?
Potom is heading to the entrance to the sewers behind the waterfall fountain.
Oh, so you're heading up to the Mercantile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Right. Trying to find a heavily populated place that would be easy to be lost in.
Okay.
And then also ultimately finding a place that would be easy for me to hide.
Okay.
How?
Is this a communicator device that I have? It's like a triangle, like a Star Trek communicator
Oh, sure.
device. You know what? I'm gonna try to push the star in the middle.
I-
Well, no. Let's.
It stretches the bounds of credulity that the silver dragonborn barbarian
I can-
Would
looks
know
at this
to
and
do
goes,
that.
"Star Trek communicator.
No,
Let me touch
I didn't
it."
say that.
I think I'm gonna have to ask that you wait until something happens because you've looked at a pebble in your hand.
And I don't really know.
Unless you
Let's-
want to make an Arcana check or something, I'm not sure. That's a little
I
bit of
just-
metagaming if you're
I was
like,
gonna say,
oh, it's
I
a
mean-
Star Trek communicator.
Well, yeah. No, I didn't say Star Trek. That was how it.
Air asks to see the stone,
Okay.
and then we'll roll an Arcana check. Although, but Air's actually not that great because
You can both roll an Arcana check, but let me just say to you, this is going to be a very high DC.
Yeah.
The idea that either of you
Could figure out this is a
would look at
communication
this
device.
having just, yeah.
Because
It
we
is-
don't know that he has communicator.
You don't know. You didn't know he could make a bag of holding out of nowhere. You didn't know any of these
Right.
things. So, like, you can try, and maybe on a bonkers high roll, I'll invent some reason that you knew this. But most likely, what really happened here is your little rock gnome friend handed you a rock and ran down the alleyway. Like, that is the extent of the information you have right
Didn't
now.
even just hand you a rock, like shoved it into your hand and then
Yeah. So that's the extent of the information you have, and I want you to think about how your characters would react to that information. You were headed to
Pissed
get a
off.
room at the scratching
So
post,
just like, are you kidding
and then
me?
Potom does something real weird. So probably either you're chasing after him because you think he had a
Bug
reason
off,
to bug
yeah.
off, or you're like, the hell,
and
just continue to the scratching post. But you tell me. But I'm probably not going to open the door till like we suddenly figured out this cool magic item and we're going to talk to him until he does something to you in the other
Got
direction.
it.
Sure.
So
Well, can I just ask one detail about the stone? It looks there are tool marks on it. It looks formed in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
See,
it's not
and
just a rock.
it has distinctive markings of Potom has done something to
sure.
this.
Okay. We'll see it. Well, then I think we'd be less inclined to throw it on the ground.
Oh, not gonna throw it on the ground for sure. We
Air
know,
might
yeah.
have thrown it on the ground.
Yeah.
Been like,
No, I know. I'm keeping
stupid
this.
rock.
Or maybe I throw it on the ground and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that's probably not a good idea.
It
Hopefully
looks-
I didn't
He gave
break
me
that.
this rock on purpose. Let's throw it away.
Yeah, right. I'm
Fit of
just not-
anger. I don't know.
I'm just not going to do that. I'm not that stupid. I mean, I have a moderate amount of intelligence, even for a barbarian. I just don't think that we're going to find him if we follow him.
I don't think so.
You should-
That's my follow-up question. Was it a
You gotta
very
decide.
successful?
Roll a perception check.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. As far as you're concerned, he disappeared.
So you know what? Let's just grab a room quick
Okay.
since we're here.
All right. So the two of you make your way to the scratching post.
Yeah. Just complain about Potham the entire way.
God, are you kidding me?
Potham, I want you to make a survival check, please, as you traverse this city on your way to where you at least think you're on your way to the Mercantile District.
10.
Okay. You wander through the docks district a bit and are generally making your way uphill. With a 10, I'll give you that for sure. And now I want you to make, now you have to make a decision, I guess. So as you pass through the docks district, you're starting to realize maybe you're not getting to the place you want to get to as quickly as you thought. So you either are going to continue to try to make your way there where you'll find maybe a heavily populated area, or you need to choose to find a hiding spot.
Do I still feel like I'm being followed?
Make a perception check. Yes. You have not lost your tail.
Okay.
Whatever or whoever is following you.
Oh. Yes. Not well. I think I'm going to stick to the original plan. Find a heavily populated area, disappear, and then find a hiding spot.
Okay. So now tell me, are you trying to move stealthily or are you trying to get there fast?
I'm getting there fast.
Okay. Then I would like you to make a, let's call it an athletics check.
Okay.
Let's see how fast you can hustle. You don't have long legs.
No, and I'm not hustling very fast. 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Trips, falls.
I can go.
So here's how this goes down. You're booking your way towards the Mercantile as fast as you can, but again, little legs, and the individual pursuing you is swifter than you. And at a certain point, you come around a corner out of an alleyway into one of the streets, and you can see the broad street that leads into the Mercantile ahead of you and some crowds off in the distance. But as you start making your way up the street in that direction, stepping out from another alleyway ahead of you and turning and coming towards you, you see a fairly tall, grizzled-looking tabaxi. You remember the picture in Discord that you sent of the cat with the grizzled, the sort of scarred face?
Yeah.
That looks like the orc from Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
That's what this tabaxi looks like. There's a deep scar across the face. One eye is nearly closed, sort of a chunk out of one ear. And as this tabaxi steps into the street in front of you, you can see strapped to their back a heavy crossbow. There is, I can speak specifically to this. A heavy crossbow. You can see dangling on their belt a scimitar and a dagger. And they announce to you, look directly at you and say, "You can run, but the dog will catch you."
Are you the dog in this? Yeah.
Interesting choice of words.
That
leave me generally confused.
That's a pretty. I kind of like it though. A little ironic. It's a backseat that goes by Dogg.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's kind of
that's what I say in response.
kind of transgendery.
The
Trans-species.
the tabaxi
Species.
bounty hunter steps closer to you and says, "Born on a mountain, raised in a cave, catching fugitives is all I crave."
Oh my gosh.
and and then just continues to walk towards you,
Oh,
about 15 feet away now.
I've never liked country music, and I'm going to turn and I'll take off.
Okay. Dog the bounty hunter is going to pursue you.
Okay.
And they're just much faster than you. So we're gonna roll for initiative
Okay.
if you're running.
Eight.
So they will act first, and what they are going to do is they're going to throw a net. So out of their belt comes a heavy weighted net that is 21 to hit, which I'm pretty sure hits you, and you are restrained. So your movement is 0, and until you escape from the net, you will not be able to do stuff.
I have to completely escape from the net, or I can, to do anything, or I can move around.
Inside the net.
You can take action. So let me be specifically clear on what restrained means. So your speed is 0. Attack rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls have disadvantage, and you have disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. You can still take actions, bonus actions, things like that. That is their turn. They are not yet within melee of you. They threw the net from about 10 feet away.
Okay.
And it is your turn.
I am going to get myself out of the net.
Okay. You can use your action to make a strength check. You need a 12 or better.
That's not that bad.
Okay. 10.
You strain mightily at this net, but you're really tangled up in it, and those weights are holding you down. Anything else on your turn? A bonus action or anything?
Maybe call for help.
I don't have a bonus action unless. No, I would imagine that it would be an action to use my communicator.
Is it?
Well,
You tell me.
I guess that's what I'm asking you.
I don't know. This sounds like an artificer thing. Is this ascending stone?
It is ascending stone.
Well,
It might be a bonus.
let's see.
Comes in pairs, each smooth carved to match the other. Well, you touch one stone, you can use an action. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The only other thing I will remind you is that talking is a free action.
I don't understand what I've done to deserve such actions on your part.
Dog just does what he needs to do to get paid. And it seems like you don't like to pay your bills. So I gotta come back with you, or I gotta come back with a pouch of gold.
Oh.
Seems like that's up to you, little guy.
What sort of gold are you looking for? This seems to me like big misunderstanding.
No misunderstanding. I was told to find a rock gnome. There's only one in this city, and Dogg always catches what he hunts for.
Okay, all right. How much gold do you need, Dogg?
70 gold is the price.
Can I interest you in some fabrics?
Yeah.
Which is exactly what Potom says. I happen to have.
3.
We have a
I happen to have quite a bit of money here. Just doesn't happen to be in gold.
Dogg deals in gold, or Dogg deals in you.
Okay, Dogg, if you give me a moment, I can produce, for your troubles, let's say 80 gold.
Dogg's listening.
Okay, well, I need to be unwrapped from this net, and I need to be able to get you the gold.
So make a persuasion check at disadvantage.
I suppose he'd rather want the gold than in an ideal world. But
Dogg's considering whether it's a good choice to let this gnome out of the net.
yeah,
9.
Okay.
Dogg's gonna want more information about how this is gonna work. If I drag you in right now, I got my pay. Tell me how this is gonna work before I let slippery little you out of my sight.
I was simply heading to the mercantile district to sell goods that I have in my possession. I can't do that if I'm in this net. But I would be happy to make this all go away by paying Dogg 80 gold. For the inconvenience of having to take another step to sell my goods and then give you gold. Unless you would like to just take goods, I can give you some goods.
is there like a collateral you could hold or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think. Here's what I think is going to go down. Let me take a look.
Give me the box or something.
Well,
He doesn't know that
doesn't
I
know,
have the
doesn't know
box.
the box
Doesn't know- yeah,
exists.
doesn't know
Yeah. So while you are all wrapped up in the net, Dogg is going to come forward and start patting you down and is going to remove from you, from your person, basically all your visible equipment. So he's going to take your crossbow, your dagger, your dermal generator, your hypo spray, your pattern buffers, your phaser, your quarterstaff, your self-sealing stem bolt, your deflector dish,
Stealing.
your tinker's tools. Is basically going to strip you down. It's not going to take your clothes off, but it's,
Well, so wait, he has to remove the net to remove all this equipment, right?
I mean, Dogg's been doing this a long time. Basically, you're. If it makes it easier narratively, here's what I'll say: slaps the equivalent of cuffs on you. It basically manacles your hands behind your back, and then proceeds to take all of your stuff, and then looks at you and says, "I don't see these goods."
Sorry.
It's okay.
The audio quality of this podcast.
This will probably all.
I did not mean that to sound like
This will all get fixed in editing, I'm sure. We have a really good editor.
Dogg doesn't see these valuable goods you're describing. Maybe I'll just hang on to all of this.
Well, that makes it difficult to do my job, but he doesn't take my bag, does he?
No.
Oh,
Just looks like an empty bag.
okay. It makes it difficult to do my job, but, okay. Can you remove this net and these cuffs?
So, yeah, all right. So Dogg is going to, the net's not on you anymore.
Okay.
Dogg's going to it's going to get down low
get right in your face and say, just remember, the dog can find you anytime, anywhere. You're going to bring 80 gold in a pouch for the... Smells like fish.
Yeah.
80 gold for the dog in a pouch to the scratching post.
Convenient.
Dog will be at the bar. And if the gold isn't in front of me by sundown, you will find yourself back in the net. And then Dog just stalks off, carrying all your equipment.
Great. Well, that was pleasant. I'll take a moment to compose myself, but
I will say you still have the communicator. This dog didn't see any value in taking what looked like a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, other than your clothing and armor, all the equipment in your equipment list, apart from the stuff in your backpack, is in Dogg's possession.
I think that the self-sealing stem bolts were supposed to be used when I was mending items.
Oh, okay. Well,
So that retroactively adding that flavor to the game. All right. I'll press the communicator and let my friends know that I meet them at the scratching post.
okay. So
That rock golem's gonna better have a good explanation why he just took off like that.
Better.
So at this point, the two of you, I would say, are at the scratching post. It is very late morning, nearly noon at this point, and they are just opening the doors as you arrive. And so you're one of the first patrons in the door. When you walk in, you don't see Lily, but several Tabaxi are kind of rushing around, making final preparations, doing side work, things like that. And there is a Tabaxi behind the bar who greets you as you come in. And it is up to you what you want to ask or what you want to do.
Is there a room available for some travelers?
Yeah, so we don't need to role play this out too much. There's a room available. You can rent the room for 5 silver a night. So that's basically half a gold piece. If you want a room with multiple beds, it's more expensive. Or if you want multiple rooms.
I think one bed is fine. I can sleep on the floor.
Okay. Very good. So you're going to rent it for a single night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we? Yeah, we're not even really. Are we even using it as like a room, or we're just using it
It's
as like
kind of a repository, just a space to do what we need to do.
Okay.
Out of,
So it's 5 silver.
I'll pay it. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that.
And as a reminder, a gold piece is 10 silver.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to
Convert some.
convert some, you can do that.
Okay.
Very good. So they hand you the key and point you up the stairs. They remind you that breakfast is included in the morning with your room. So if you want to come down for breakfast in the morning, you're welcome. And the tap room is open for the rest of the evening. And you're welcome to be down there anytime you want.
Great.
It is as you're stepping into your room, and these rooms are nothing fancy. The scratching post is not a high-end establishment, so this is like the Motel 6 of accommodations. Relatively clean, but there's nothing high-end in here. Fairly cramped quarters. And as you're stepping into the room is when you suddenly hear Podham's voice. Freya, you hear Podham's voice in your head say,
I'm on my way to the scratching post. There was an inconvenience.
Can you hear that?
no.
No.
No. Potham apparently is in my head right now and said that he's coming to the scratching post.
And that's what you hear back. Because Freya doesn't know that she can reply to the message,
Right.
but that is what you hear back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'll just like nod.
Yeah. So at this point, we can fast forward to the point where Potom arrives and joins you in the room. So you're now ensconced safely in this rented room at the scratching post. You immediately notice as he walks in that Potom has none of his stuff. Because usually he's arrayed with a whole lot of stuff hanging off of him. He looks nearly naked. He's clothed, but for
I
Potom,
had no
it's
idea
weird.
you were that small.
Didn't even recognize him.
Yeah, he looks way smaller for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, I love tabaxis.
All right.
I will just let them know
You have,
briefly what happened.
Okay.
and that you still have her stuff, right? Mm-hmm.
You guys see you're starting to see a side of Air. Air's getting very anxious about the situation, which normally she's very cool and collect, but since this was like her first job, yeah, she's not liking where this is going so far. How this is panning out.
I was worried that there was somebody after all of us.
Turns
I tried
out,
to ditch them.
At
Turns
least,
out it's just me.
at least there's that.
Air's got silver
all right.
lining.
Okay, how are we gonna unload this?
Simple. I'll turn the bag inside out.
Okay, all of the 24 bolts of fabric and the crate basically fill up one side of this room. Again, not a very big room. So you now have a big pile of bolts of fabric and this 2x2 crate with dwarvish runes marking the side, all laid out in this room.
Can I just look around this room a little bit and see? Do we have a door that locks? Just things like
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah. There's a lock on the door.
Okay.
There's basically a bed, a small like side table, a couple pegs on the wall where you could hang a cloak or something like that, and a small basin with a pitcher of water. That's the extent of this room's accommodations.
I'm going to pick up the crate and put it back in the bag.
Okay. Yeah.
Air's like, yeah, we're gonna talk about that later.
It's no big deal.
Okay. All right. Let's we got to think about taking this down to the marketplace, though.
We have to unload these goods quickly.
I need 35 gold pieces to make a problem go away.
35, okay.
I have 34.
I think you explained right that that you have to pay this guy off. Yeah, okay.
I have 34 gold pieces.
Well, I really have.
Do you have
next to
34 and a
nothing.
half gold pieces?
I do.
Great.
Guess you're gonna pay for the room instead.
I can do that. I suppose.
All right.
No, oh wait. You should have 34 and a half.
Yeah.
You've already paid for the room.
Yeah.
Just take the rest of your money. I'll get it back to you, don't worry.
Okay.
Because I also have 5 silver pieces, which makes 80 altogether. I head down to the bar. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so it's only been probably an hour since your
Was he not there
confrontation with Dogg. But when you walk down into the bar, you see nestled into a corner booth with a glass of wine in front of them, Dogg the bounty hunter, patiently waiting. And immediately upon walking into the tap room, they make eye contact with you. He makes eye contact with you.
I will lay the pouch of gold on the table. I believe this makes us triangular.
Okay. Dogg grabs the pouch, sort of hefts it briefly, doesn't count it, places it into the bag at his side, and then passes you all of your equipment back, pushes it across the table. We'll say it's all just in a sack, basically. Nods and says, keep yourself out of trouble, or Dogg will be seeing you again. Oh, I never lose the scent. and then just marches out the door, leaving his wine behind. And that is the end of your maybe first and only interaction with Dogg the Bounty Hunter.
I'll finish Dogg's wine.
I was just gonna ask
Yeah.
if you were.
Absolutely. It's not good.
No.
It's not a high-end vintage, no.
That would have been a funny character trait, though. They only drinks the very
The
best.
very finest, yeah.
Dog
Very
the Bounty Hunter.
Yeah. So debt resolved. You're able to make your way back up to your friends.
Cool. Wow.
Or colleagues or acquaintances. I'm not sure if I know.
That resolved
Something.
very much better than anything I am ever able to resolve in this city.
Turns out money does solve some problems.
Yeah. Just throw money at
Like the
bottom.
problem of not paying your bills.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're free of that at least.
Yeah,
All right.
made that go.
Well, now we really need some cash.
Yeah, for sure. Let's you know what? We're trying to establish this thing. Can we just go by Lily's apartment maybe and just see if she's around? If she has any ideas that could help us establish.
I'm going to
Or find out where
remain
Nips is.
behind to just guard the goods.
Are you okay with that if we go by Lily's? Just ask her if she knows where we can locate Nips.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to
that's
Lily's.
true, yeah.
Knock on her door. Is she home?
If you need me, use the communication device that I've given you.
How does it work?
Oh, just press it and send me a message.
Do I talk out loud?
You can think. Just think.
Okay.
Whatever you would like to send to me.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Just so that the three of us can keep in contact.
I will just remind you that they can only be used once per day.
Oh.
Oh.
Each one can only be used once per day.
Correct.
So,
No.
Oh.
Once
Okay.
sending is cast through the
Good
stones, plural, they cannot be used again until the next dawn.
I gotcha.
All right, don't use that.
Never mind, that won't work.
We'll be back soon. Lily doesn't live far away.
We tried using it, just isn't working.
As,
Bounced against the
What
wall.
is Potham doesn't know
I
what he's
know,
talking
he does
Yeah.
not know what he's talking about.
as
I don't
soon
think
as
that
they
I can use
leave,
this.
though, as Panam is putting all of the equipment back, I open that crate.
All right, we'll get to that in a moment. All right, so you all head down, and as you are getting into the common space downstairs at the scratching post and heading for the door, you actually see Lily come into the common area from the kitchen entrance.
Okay.
And almost immediately you notice that her eyes are red and puffy, like she's maybe been crying.
Oh. Well, that sounds like some character development that we want Pando here for.
Yeah.
Well, we're very highly motivated. I'm not sure if
We're highly
if we're
motivated,
gonna.
and we do know her.
Right. Well, I was gonna say.
Passionate people.
Yeah, but are we in a situation where we want to be like, let's talk about it and kick our legs up, or are we like, we need to unload this crap?
We need to unload this
Yeah.
crap. Come on.
So, Air approaches her and says, "Lily, thank God, we're in a little bit of a bind. We're trying to locate. It's better if you do. It's the better the less you know,
Just and we're quietly doing this in the corner.
right?
We're just
Well, she's behind the bar, so you
behind
can
the bar.
approach her and talk to her. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
this is not like a full space right now. There are a few patrons in here,
yeah.
but I think you could pretty unobtrusively
Yeah.
have a
Right,
conversation at the bar.
Yeah, no one's paying attention.
Make a charisma check for me, please.
Charisma,
Yeah.
sure. 16.
Okay. She sort of pauses for a second and kind of wipes her face. Like this. And looks at you for a moment and says, "Oh, you're Pando's friends,
Oh, yeah.
right? What can I help you with?"
Interesting that everyone has the same voice in this world.
It's a fantastical world.
All tabaxis have the same voice.
Right.
They're all
they all
they're all
look the
purring
same,
their
they
way
all-
through.
Yeah, except for Nips, who's
Is it she hasn't really said anything, so I'm not sure if you would allow a roll on it, but is it worth a roll, an insight check? I mean, I suppose it's not like she's
You do.
just being deceptive or something.
Just tell me what you want. What you're trying to figure
I
out.
guess we're just trying to see if there's anything immediate obvious why she would have been visibly upset.
Yeah,
Other
make
than
an
she is
insight.
visibly
Make an
upset.
insight check.
12.
I mean, clearly something has happened that all you can tell is that she's obviously been crying.
Okay.
But it appears that she has tried to compose herself before coming out into work, like
Sure.
getting into work
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
And she's
Air doesn't
treating
say
you
anything.
like a customer.
Yeah, Air doesn't say anything. She's polite. Okay. So back to what Air was saying. So Air is saying, "Thank God you're here. We're in a little bit of a bind. It's the less you know, the better. We're trying to locate a specific tabaxi merchant, and we have a suspicion that he may be she may be a customer here from time to time, and you may know her. She goes by the name Nips."
When you say the name Nips, Lily kind of sort of half snorts, half sighs, like,
She's a bill that she's never paid
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, I know Nips. We all know Nips.
I knew it.
I'm surprised Air hasn't heard of Nips.
Why?
Yeah.
It's a big city. How could we locate her? Would you know how to get in contact with her? How we could locate her? Where she spend her days not at the market?
You probably have two options today since it's not a market day. She'll be in here later. Every off day, she's in here racking up a tab, making a scene, throwing her money around.
Mm-hmm.
Or during the day, she's probably preparing for tomorrow. So you could find her on the promenade, organizing and preparing her wares.
Oh, okay.
She's usually up there around this time of day. Or hang out for a bit, I would say.
she kind of glances out the window to catch view of the sun in the sky and says,
Couple hours, you'll see her in here. Line of hairballs in front of her.
Of both varieties.
I mean, I just kind of
Thank-
say to you,
Do we have
You
time
think it's-
or should we go try to find her while she's? That might be inconvenient.
up on the promenade.
Yeah.
Depends on how many other people are up there. You want a lot of people. Probably don't want a lot of people around when we approach it.
Maybe you're right. Well, you're not approaching anyone.
No way. I meant a collective we. Yeah, maybe head up there. Do you want to go
Or-
and pot him?
Yeah, or do we wait for her? We can wait for her. If that's more, do you think? Yeah, if that's more discreet, I suppose we can just like wait.
Lips be discreet in a huge room full of people. I mean, it's all going to depend on.
I mean, we don't have to go to Nibs.
I think we could partially go to Nips and partially go to somebody else if there is another. Maybe head up to the promenade.
Probably-
See if there's somebody else we can approach too.
Probably the less. Yeah, I don't know. We can go up there. I was just gonna say, like, every single person you rope into this conspiracy.
Is another person that
Yeah.
knows what's going on. I don't know. It's up to you, Air. I'm going to defer to your judgment here at this point. I don't know people very well here.
I say, Air says. Air, oh man, I'm not sure. Air says let's go. Let's just wait. Actually, yeah. The goods are here. Nips should be coming here at some point. We'll just catch her before she gets too far into her hairballs. Maybe. Is she going to? Well, yeah. She's not going to recognize me or Potom.
No, maybe you could pull her out to the alley, even.
We'll get her attention.
Just for a little.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we wait. We bide our time.
Okay.
And thanks, Lily.
Yeah.
We
Thanks,
really
Lily.
appreciate it. Anything we can do for you too, Lily, let us know.
Yeah.
Good to have a friend.
I owe you.
No problem. Happy to help. Hey, at this point, you see her tail kind of twitching a bit anxiously, and she says, "If you see Pando, send her around, would you?"
Yeah, for sure.
And then she kind of hustles off and gets busy taking care of other customers. So at this point, you've been downstairs for 10 minutes or so. Potom, you, like as soon as they walk out of the door, you're popping open this crate.
Yeah, I'll lock the door behind it as they leave,
Okay.
and then I am opening up the bag, pulling the crate out.
Okay. As you pop the top off this crate, you see it's full of like packing material, and something relatively small is nestled inside. So there's a lot more crate here than is necessary. And as you pull away some of the, right, very, very much so.
All of that arrived in this.
So as you pull away all the packing material, you suddenly feel like there's a weight pressing on your chest because you recognize what this is. When you fled the continent, there was a reason. And what you see inside this chest, or inside this crate, is a poorly reconstructed version of something that you created. Ooh. One of your own designs, an experimental design for what you would probably describe as an energy storage unit, but is an intricate metal cage designed to hold a magical crystal inside and channel the energies stored in that magical crystal. As I said, this is a poorly reconstructed version of your prototype. You can see at a glance that it wouldn't work to do what it is intended. And you know that what it is intended to do is to provide a substantial power source to drive automatons.
Ooh. That's pretty cool.
The ones back on the other continent who are attempting to make this happen, who wanted very much your designs to power their machines, clearly have contacts here as well. And someone is trying to recreate from what few notes you they managed to recover after you destroyed your workshop. Someone's trying to make your stuff. And this is an example of it. So, while you can tell that this item is a long way off from a working prototype, clearly they found something in your old workshop and have enough to have begun experimenting themselves. The material itself is worth, you'd guess there's about 25 gold pieces worth of metal here, or components that you could use to potentially incorporate into some of your own designs. So there's some value here physically. But the bigger value for you is that the life you fled is perhaps not as far away as you thought.
Sure. Can I determine from the outside of the crate its intended destination?
No. But that information is probably back on the manifests that you, that Air looked at in the ship. But no, the outside of this does not have a destination marked. Just the dwarven runes that I described to you earlier that describe it as fragile.
Okay.
So I think it's about this time that you all would be coming back up the stairs, and you find the door locked.
Bottom. Listen.
Knock. Yeah,
Give a
knock
little
on the
guy,
door.
Potter.
Bottom. It's us.
I, of course, let them in.
Is the stuff still out?
Yes.
Okay.
Bottom, is this what was in that crate?
Yes.
What?
What?
What is it? Do you know what it is?
I do.
Could you tell us?
This essentially is a non-working warp core. It's just powered by what I would call a dilithium crystal.
This
Is
is
the
Professor Bottom.
Is the crystal in there?
No, there is no crystal,
No
just a
crystal.
metal cage.
Oh,
What you're basically looking at is a polyhedral metal cage. You can imagine it. It essentially looks like a D20, but hollow, and made of like a lattice work of exotic metals.
Sure. Okay.
And it looks like there's a spot in the center of the cage where you could set a crystal or a jewel or something could sit there. And to you, it looks very intricate and confusing. But Potom, you see all the obvious flaws. This might, for all you're concerned, this might as well be a weird piece of jewelry or art. It would never do what it's meant to do.
It
Can
doesn't
we
work.
use it? Oh, okay.
It doesn't work. I mean, I could make it work. But this particular one does not work. The broader implications are much graver. And we should find out where this was headed.
So what I'm wondering is, in the meantime, since we have a little time, then do we return this to where it is if it doesn't work? Do we return it and then look at the manifest?
No, absolutely not. We could return the crate itself, but this piece of metal should be destroyed.
Okay.
Oh,
Should we head back down there? Do you need to find out who?
We should find out
We're waiting for Nips anyway.
where this was intended to go.
Okay.
Air probably wouldn't be thrilled about like trying to get back on the ship in the middle of our.
No, I would imagine not.
Yeah. I think she's focused on like task at hand, finish this, and then we can
Think about that later.
investigate later separately after we've completed the first.
Yes, because I should put a bomb in here.
He does really want to light that ship on fire.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Are we just gonna bide our time then until Nips comes in?
Yeah, I suppose, right? And yeah, yeah. So then, yeah, Air says, "Okay, well, pack it back up, and we'll deal with this later." She's just like trying to.
Okay.
How about I deal with this? You all deal with that.
Can you just keep us in the loop though? Will you keep us in the loop on what's going on with it?
Is that not what I've been doing?
Oh, well, just before things happen.
I'm going to start drawing out a bomb.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Air's like, "I can't deal with this right now."
Yeah.
So, with the time that we have remaining in our session, we'll fast forward a bit. Are you actively working on creating a bomb right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Since we have the time.
Yeah. So tell me about mechanically in D&D. What is your bomb? How does this work?
You know, I don't really have an artificer's spell to create a bomb, but with my technical knowledge, I would imagine that designing a bomb wouldn't be that difficult.
No. Tell me what this bomb is meant to do.
Sure.
Because the materials for such a thing are what I have more questions about
I gotcha.
where that's coming from, because I don't think you have anything on you right now that's
No,
like,
I would
let's
have
throw
to-
this together and make a
I would
bomb.
probably have to use the 25 gold pieces that I would get from scrapping the metal.
Okay.
And of course, I'm going to destroy that piece so that it is just sort of bits of metal.
Sure.
And then I would like the bomb to go off once they open the crate, and I would like it to be a substantial enough blast to destroy the room that it was opened in.
So here's what I will say. You're not familiar with readily available ingredients
Okay.
to materials to do what you're trying to do of non-magical nature. So either you would need to buy something magical that literally is meant to explode, like you would need to go find somebody who would sell you a magic bomb, or it's not a thing you can do. This is not a gunpowder world,
Right,
so
right.
it's not like you're like, well, I'll just go buy some saltpeter and black powder or whatever. There's no dynamite or anything like that. So for you to visualize an explosive device, what you're picturing is a magic item,
Sure.
basically, that has a fireball in it or something like that. That's not something you're capable of doing right now yourself. But it's not outside the realm of possibility that someone in this town could make that for you.
Sure.
But
I
you'd
gotta
be
go
on
and
a
find
hunt
Dave.
here for basically, you'd be on a hunt here for an illicit weapons dealer, basically, in the city.
Alternatively, narratively, if maybe your goal is instead of hurting the people who are supposed to receive it, if you're trying to maybe you're trying to dissuade the ones researching it, so you could sabotage it, and then they receive it, they're like, well, this doesn't work.
Well, that's what I want. I mean, essentially, I want it to seem
Is
like
it-
once they open up the crate, that the device itself has blown up.
Not working. Yeah.
Well, so I'll tell you this: you know that is not a thing that this could do, because the cage is only meant to contain the energy of the crystals,
Right.
and there is no crystal here. So either
you could sabotage it so that when they add the crystal, maybe, or something like that.
that might be. So if someone here has crystals, you know that even as it is right now, this will not contain the energy or channel the energy to do what's accomplished. But before you tear this thing down, if what you wanted to do was sabotage their efforts in a way that is dangerous, you have enough knowledge, I would say, with the right roles to do what Thomas is describing and make this dangerous. So if someone's got a crystal and they put it in here and test it, that something unfortunate could happen. But there is no power in this device right now. It's the equivalent of an uncharged battery, basically. But there is no way that if this thing exploded, that would make any sense.
Sure.
It's just a metal cage.
Well, also essentially, I would like to know where it's going, and so I think that is the more important thing: is to pull the device out, destroy it, but have the crate go to where it is intended to go, and have a homing signal sent back of some sort. So it sounds like I need to find a Dave.
Okay.
Okay.
And by Dave, a powerful sorcerer.
Dave's not here, man. So you are working through that thought process that you take the time to break this down into its component parts. So you now have basically 25 gold pieces worth of exotic metal scrap available to you. You'll have to figure out to whom you want to sell that and figure that out later. But in the meantime, the rest of you have kind of relaxed for a little while, and you start to hear noise rising downstairs in the common room as late afternoon arrives and the bar downstairs starts to fill up. So if and when you're ready, you can head down and see who's here.
Mm-hmm. Just as a side note, too, I think, I'm going to stay up in the room.
Right.
I don't want to see Nips. But I think just, it seems like there would be a lot of other people that, even not bringing them in, would turn on Nips, and given the opportunity. So just as a side note to think about, if, in hatching in our plan here with Nips.
Eric asks Potom if he wants to come down with her, because she could use a second set of eyes, but not a second mouth. You know what I'm saying?
I don't. But I'll come.
All right, as you make your way down into the common room, this is like a happy hour crowd.
Sure.
At any tavern here in town. Mostly non-elves here, but there's some elves as well. I mean, you've partied at the Scratching Post before, so you kind of know the crowd. And though Nips doesn't know you, when you walk into the tap room, Lily sees you from kind of across the room, and her tail kind of arches up and then sort of points in a direction at a tabaxi sitting at a table with one other patron, another tabaxi, and they are having what looks like somewhat heated exchange, but laid out in front of one of the tabaxi, you see 3 what essentially look like snow cones, and what you remember vaguely from your experience as Lily's special drink, which is called the hairball. So you believe you've spotted Nips.
Okay. Well, Air reminds Potom to not say anything.
Please, Potom.
So let Air handle the talking. And I kind of motion for Potom to come over, and we both kind of aggressively sit down next to Nips.
Okay.
And kind of encourage. How do we do this? Yeah, no, we aggressively sit down because we want to come off as confident and capable.
Okay, so this is a square table. Nips is sitting face to face with another tabaxi across the table. Where are you each sitting? Like when you say aggressively, what does that mean? I mean, there's a chair on either side, but are you like sitting next to? Are you trying to intimidate? Like, what's the intent?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. We're going to. I'll sit next to. So it's a square you said, right? Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. So should we just sit on opposite sides on the 2 other of the four sides? Yeah, and Air's just like follow my lead.
Okay.
I think that there is like a half second where Air sits down aggressively, and Potom just kind of does the whole like sit down.
Right. Okay, good. Make an intimidation check.
Sure. You got it. 18.
Okay. So you kind of pull out the chairs, sit down, lean forward, and both tabaxi look up suddenly, and it's Nips who speaks first, who looks at you both and says, "What the fuck? Who are you, and why are you? What the fuck?" And the other tabaxi looks at all of you and at Nips and says, "I literally don't have time for this," and just stands up and prowls off. And Nips looks at you now and says, "You just cost me money. This is not a good start."
Air, now she established the intimidation and the that part of it. So now she's gonna move to flattery.
Okay.
She's gonna be like, well, thankfully, we have a way for you to make up for that lost money and a lot more.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
You got
We're due for a good
a
persuasion.
10.
Okay.
Okay, well, at least it's not a 2. Right? We're getting slightly better.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck you are. The two of you storm up to my table, interrupt my business negotiations, prevent me from doing my drinking, and claim to have an opportunity. Well, it's better be good. Let me hear about this amazing opportunity you've brought me after costing me money.
Yeah, we're trying to lay the seeds still of this whole scheme. So what we say is, and I'm sure that Cleft would be relatively known in the
Sure.
community.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe, or I'll drop his name anyway. We'll see what happens. Look, I say to Air, or sorry, no, Air says to Nibs. We've come into our possession some rather expensive fabrics. And oh shoot, oh man, I was gonna do this out of before coming down here and I totally forgot. Can we retcon a little bit here? Or sure.
Tell me what you're trying to do.
I was going to try to forge like just a receipt to kind of offer further assurances that these were that we all know that these are stolen goods, but I was going to offer them alongside with Cleft's signature or Cleft's guarantee that these were legitimate, that Nips might be more inclined to take the goods with this as a little bit of insurance that if she does get caught.
Okay. Do you have a forger's kit?
Nope.
Or
But someone
I
else.
do. I
Yeah.
have a crappy forger's kit.
crappy forger's kit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with retconning this. Make a sleight of hand check. I don't believe you're proficient in forging
No, I am not.
forgery, so
Nope.
just a straight
This was-
sleight of hand check.
Oof. 6.
6. Make an intelligence check
An intelligence.
at advantage.
17.
Yeah, you've seen enough documents to know you shouldn't bring this.
Okay, damn it.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
Okay, like, well, thanks, Bottom. Worth a shot. Okay, darn it.
Check back with me in a couple of levels.
I mean, it's a good effort. I like it.
Yeah.
But
We know there's a basis for the skill now.
Yeah, dang it, because I remembered that you had, because I was going to take one, and then you were going to, then I saw that you were forming one, so I was like, I'll let you deal with it.
Yeah.
Darn it. Okay, well,
That's some good flavor.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. You're just putzing up there trying to help, and then
Okay.
you look at it and go, no, we're 100% not using this.
It's an
Crayon.
orange crayon.
What is that?
I think, well, to be honest, I think what it
It's
is,
signed bottom.
Yeah.
I think what it is that it's
Crossed
just,
out.
it's just the materials in the forging kit that you stole.
You were
The materials
limited.
you stole are too poor. To,
Oh, I didn't steal it. I bought it. But
bought
yeah,
it.
I mean, it was just.
It just wouldn't. This is more like scratch paper. It's like
Yeah.
you took
Yeah.
tore a piece of notebook paper out and wrote, "This is a receipt for shipping," and
Yeah.
and then you were like, nobody
Yeah.
would do this, right?
I'm a high school freshman trying to pass off a note from my mom.
Yeah. Very, yeah. that
Or out of
vibe,
your
that energy.
3-ring notebook that you
Yeah.
obviously have next to you.
Yeah. Big, like, 6th grader getting out of exam.
Yeah.
Big
Energy.
energy, yeah. Big energy.
Dang it,
Okay, so anyway, you don't have such a thing. You've just gotten some pushback from
Yeah,
Nips
Nips.
on like, this better be rich.
Oh yeah, we like yeah. Okay, so look, Nips, we were told that we have some goods we need to maybe we just like honesty is the best route here. So Air says, look, we've asked it around and we heard that you're the best fence around, that you're the one to bring all the best illicit goods to.
Okay, that is very direct.
Yeah.
So
We don't have time for
Nips doesn't have a lot of insight into himself.
That was a natural one on an insight check. And so at this, you see an interesting reaction. Nips, all the kind of the hackles go down, and the tail starts to just kind of, and you hear almost a purr as Nips kind of looks around and says, you heard right. However, I would need to know more about the goods we're talking about. What is it that you've come into possession of?
You have quite a collection of very fine fabrics.
Interesting. Well, I deal in daggers, but I know some people.
But we'd be willing to give you a very good rate on them.
Oh, I'll be giving you the rate.
Okay.
I don't negotiate on illicit property. I'd need to see these goods before making any offer.
Sure. And Air looks to Potom and asks, Air says, "Go grab one of the reams."
Hops off the bench and is like, "Yes, sir."
Okay.
Hobbles away.
All right.
Madam, sorry.
That's fine.
Yes, madam.
All right. Yeah, you go upstairs.
And then I stay with Nips.
Okay. So you're gonna grab one of the bolts of cloth.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for one of medium quality.
Okay.
And but you're leaving the rest there. Throw it in your bag.
Yeah, or you could tear off a piece or something. I don't know, whatever makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's a better idea.
Which of those things are we doing?
Oh.
You're there.
Or you can put it in your
Yes,
bag.
I will
Yeah.
I'll cut a swatch of one of high quality, one of medium quality, and one of the lowest quality. So
Good
then I'll
call.
have just 3 swatches.
There's everything of really low quality was left behind. So
Right.
They're all
you
nice,
cut
yeah.
a couple swatches off, small enough that you're not doing any real damage to the goods, and head back down. So you've got, let's say, 4 or 5 different swatches that you're able to lay out on the table. She picks them up and sort of peruses them, kind of rubs some of them on her face, and then offers, says, "How many bolts of this material do you have in your possession?"
30?
24.
24 of them.
2 dozen. If it is of consistent quality and I am not disappointed when I see the actual goods, I could offer you 80 gold pieces.
Is this a half now, half later situation, or?
I will pay you on delivery of the goods.
Okay.
I will need them tonight so that I can offload them before market day. Tomorrow is busy.
We need them gone tonight.
Yeah. Air says they told me you were the one to come to, and they were right. You drive a hard bargain, but fair.
Yes, this is true. Bring the bolts to the back door of warehouse 17. One of my colleagues will await delivery, and we'll have the gold available at the time of handoff. Be aware that any funny business will be met with violence. It's a pleasure doing business with you. Now fuck off. And she starts doing shots of her hairballs.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah, that's going for it. That's going for it.
Oh my god,
it's much better.
Yeah, there is nothing that wakes me up from Brianna and I up from
Instant.
sleep. Yeah. Like that
You're
sound.
like, well, I'm gonna find that with my foot in the morning.
Yeah.
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 It's the best way to find it.
So with that, as we get ready to draw this session to a close, I'm gonna, unless there's anything narratively that you want to insert here.
Just a quick question: How much? Where? where are we? Where are we at time-wise to evening here?
So it is
later,
at this point it's like 5-6 in the afternoon. So you had this conversation essentially during happy hour. There's a little back and forth, but I would say it's early evening, late afternoon at this
Okay.
point.
And we need to be there essentially like 3 hours with the delivery. And that brings us back down to the docks, which would be a great time to replace a crate that was previously taken.
And it's dark.
Um,
Or is it dark?
Well, it will
At
be.
that time.
It will be when
Okay.
you, if in 3
Okay,
hours' time,
yeah.
if that's when you're going down there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to just approach Lily and see where I can find, or I mean, if there is a sorcerer available, where I would find that.
Okay. What kind of sorcerer are we talking about? There are many in this city who use magic. What are your needs specifically?
Would Lily?
Let me ask it a different way. Is discretion important to you?
Yes.
I hear you. Well, you didn't hear it from me, but...
Of course I didn't. I'm not even asking you.
right. There's a person who lives above one of the dives, the sailor bars down near the docks, a place called the Broken Shell. In an apartment above there is a man who fell from grace, let's say. You may want to have a chat with him. That's about all I can tell you.
I'm going to just.
You guys really make me create a lot of NPCs. I just gotta say that. Like, it's Fast and Furious.
I'm going to just let my friends know that I'm running an errand quick.
Okay.
You're not taking the bag though this time, are you? You're not taking the bag.
You have all of the cloth
That's-
here.
I know.
So if I took the bag, what would it matter?
Because we're gonna have to get it down there.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Okay.
keep the bag.
Thank you.
Keep the bag. Load up the stuff. I will be back.
Okay. Just in case he doesn't get there.
And then I'm going to go and find this gentleman. I'm taking the pieces of exotic metal with.
Okay. All right. It doesn't take you too long to find the broken shell. It is literally right next to the docks. You can see the dockmaster's hut from the front door of this establishment, and it looks like the epitome of a sailor dive bar. It is rough and tumble on the outside. Parts of it are literally made from driftwood, and it is loud already at this point in the afternoon. And I'm going to go so far as to say is literally someone is thrown out the front door as you walk up. It's that trope. Someone is getting tossed out past you as you walk in to the broken shell.
I am going to look for the person described by Lily.
Okay. When you walk in, you see a busy bar. It reeks of spilled beer, seawater, fish, and urine. And there's quite a few people in here, mostly dock workers and sailors, and a minotaur behind the bar with one broken horn, who looks up as you come in and kind of snorts and says, "Short for a sailor."
I'm not a sailor. I am looking for someone who may live. Someone with a certain set of skills.
That's real vague.
Purposely so. And then I'll just describe the person that Lily had described to me.
Okay. Oh, got it. You're looking for Zenta. Upstairs. Be polite. And then he shuffles off to serve customers.
Thank you.
Up the stairs, you find that the stairway ends in a single door, and it is locked.
I will knock politely.
Okay. From the other side of the door, you hear an elvish voice say, "Who's there?"
My name is Patam Far, and I'm looking for your services.
You have gold?
Essentially,
That's vague.
I'm hearing that a lot lately.
Okay. There's a long pause, and then you hear a click, and the door opens. Behind the door, you see a silk-robed elf of later years. Doesn't look very wealthy at a glance. In kind of an apartment that matches the downstairs, let's say. This is not a person who cares much for appearances, it seems. He waves you in, closes the door, and locks it behind you, and says, a rock gnome. That's new. My name is Ruto Zenta. What is it you're looking for?
I need a homing device that will fit inside of a 2 foot by 2 foot case. And this is what I have to offer you. And I pull out the exotic pieces of metal.
He takes a look, and his eyes rise a little bit, and he says, that seems like something I can work with. A homing device, you say? What kind of range is required?
I have absolutely no idea.
Well,
So far.
that makes things more challenging. Across planes of existence?
I wouldn't say that far. Across this world. But most likely on this continent.
Well, if we only need to track something in the Isles. Yes, for what you've brought me, I can offer you the best I can do is to help guide you to this within 1,000 feet. That will work depending on where you are. You may have to roam a bit to narrow it down. If you want to track this across the entire globe, I'm afraid I'll need quite a bit more. The materials for such a spell are exotic and expensive, and I do not possess them. However, if we place a very specific item in the crate, I can give you a 1 day worth, essentially an object that will allow you to cast locate object an unlimited number of times for a single day. It'll allow you to hunt for the location of this crate. And after that, the object will be worthless. The power will be exhausted, and you would need to return to me to have it recharged if you're unable to locate it in that amount of time. It's the closest I can come to what you're asking for.
Can we have the device, would there be a way for me to know when the crate has been opened?
I don't see how. Perhaps if we... it would be prohibitively expensive. We would need a permanence, a wizard eye. An alarm spell, perhaps, but the range, no. Not for such a range that you're talking about. I don't have the capability. If you want to be able to find this later, I think I can help you with the object I described, or the device I described, but no, I don't know how to do what you're asking.
Okay. Will you at least charm a item that someone opening the crate would want to keep?
You're talking...
Because if the crate is discarded and I find it just an empty crate, that doesn't help out him far.
I see. Yes, this is doable. A simple triggered charm. It would not create a permanent geese, but might be enough to get them to place it in a pouch or pocket and forget about it. Cannot guarantee perfection, but for an additional 25 gold pieces, I can make this happen.
Is there something that I can offer in trade? Something that I can fix for you or construct for you that would take up this 25 extra gold pieces?
Not off the top of my mind, but I am open. You seem to be a gnome of some skill. Let me think on it, and in the meantime, I will take these materials and I will begin crafting the object you are to track.
Out of the forging kit materials, I will just draw up a IOU 25 gold pieces.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll shortcut this, but basically what is going to happen is he's going to create for you basically a coin, and that coin will have a charm spell on it or a certain spell on it that makes somebody want to pick it up and keep it. That will only last a short time, but it might work out that it would stay, and it will be in the crate. And so what he is going to give you is a short metal rod that will allow you to cast the locate object spell, basically an unlimited number of times, but it will only last for a single day once you start using it. After that, it will just be a worthless metal rod. So your metal cage materials are gone. You will at some point have to pay him another 25 gold pieces, or he'll think of something. And so we'll deal with that next time. You'll essentially be able to pick this up tomorrow. He can't do it instantly, but he'll work on it during the night. And then you'll basically replace this coin back in the crate, seal it up, and put it where you want to put it. But that means you will not be able to replace the crate tonight. So to draw things to a close tonight, the handoff down by the docks doesn't go... there's no problems, unless you're planning to create problems.
Nope.
Okay. So you collect your 80 gold from Nip's contact and hand off the cloth. So somebody can add 80 gold to your party's funds. And then you are able to head back and rest for the evening at the scratching post.
Do we have like a ability to have like a separate fund that's the group fund?
That's up for your group to discuss.
Yeah. Should we put that in a group fund here?
Sure. I think it's probably easier, unless...
Yeah, I mean, just essentially assigning a banker then.
Not him. I can keep him. I'll keep him.
All right, so you successfully fenced the fabric. When we pick up next time, It will be morning of market day, and you will be able to pursue some of the various little tasks that you've gotten rolling here. Tie up some loose ends, potentially go back and see Nell in the morning and get the rest of your money. But we will wrap it here for today.